Good evening, the probably handful of people who might watch us at some point. Tonight, we are playing actual fucking monsters with rules from the companion as well, with my friends here. I was supposed to go to a mini convention this weekend, but between Kat being unwell and my mum as well, it's been a bit of a time, so I've had to stay home. So I'm getting some bloody gaming in. Gentlemen, would you care to introduce yourselves? And if you've got anything you want to advertise or plug, now's the time.
Sure. I'm Jack. My interesting online name is Insomnijack. Get it? Because it's like my name, but also insomnia. I have a YouTube channel and a Mixer, not a Twitch, but I don't really use it that often because I completely lost enthusiasm. I'm trying to get it back, so I've joined this game.
Good, good.
All right. And I'm Aaron the Pedantic. I have a YouTube channel I don't really use, and I spew shit on Twitter and occasionally on a blog. That's about it.
Don't we all? So, are you pedantic?
Not as terribly as I used to be. It's a recovering pedantry.
Do you want to give people a brief rundown of the characters you're playing tonight, as you see them?
All right. So I'll be playing Gray, male, white, 52. So he's comes from northern France, working class family originally. Was married, but was seduced away from his wife, and that is kind of what has led him to be separated from honest, good society. And now he has a manner of a silver fox about him, and sustains himself with doing very inappropriate seduction. We'll see how that translates. There are certain winks that I can go that other people should not.
Jack?
And I'm playing Scrat, who apparently was born into an English two-parent working-class family with three sisters, and so on, and was bitten by something, not a werewolf, and now has awoken a hunger in him. I kind of get the impression that he's more of like a loathsome character, like you know, hiding in the shadows and like, yeah, don't touch me, don't look at me, sort of person. That's what I'm sort of getting a vibe from, so I'm going to go with that.
Did you check your banes on your characters? I'm sure one of you has sunlight as your bane, so that will obviously
Yes,
shape things.
that's me.
Silver for me.
Well, makes sense. Right then. Let's get going. You have been hiding out in one of London's many overspill towns, Reading, for some time. You had found a pretty safe area with a few other monsters in a closed up sort of mini mall would be the nearest equivalent for Americans. What used to be called an arcade, but without the machines. But it's been closed down for some time, and you guys and a few other local weird things have been hiding out there, preying on the local populace in your various ways, and forming a fairly nice little community, at least for a while. Earlier tonight, with fireworks going off over the town because it's Guy Fawkes night, a fire erupted at one end of the arcade and rapidly started burning through a couple of the old abandoned stores. I mean, they were abandoned, you know, with stock and so on still in them. So there was plenty of fuel there for the fire. You were in at the time. It was fairly early in the evening and had to flee the flames. A few of the others were ahead of you, and more fire began to burst at the other end of the arcade, which was a hint that perhaps something more was going on. one of the fellows you'd been staying with. You didn't really get too close to everyone, but it was a community. You recognised each other. One of the fellows you'd been staying with tried to run through the flames, and there was a deafening report of a gunshot, and that was it for him. So you were forced to flee sort of sideways, breaking down a door, a fire exit door, to get out into one of the neighbouring buildings, and then out from there, and you just kind of fled into the night. So as we join our creatures, can you set your satiation to the D10 level, please? Because just down a little bit. So you've been forced to flee. You've been running pell-mell through the streets. Finally, think you've got far enough away, and just kind of collapsed next to someone's garden, sort of back garden, red brick wall. You just kind of stopped there to catch your breath and figure out what the hell you're going to do next. Take it away.
All right. Are there any other creatures in the vicinity?
It's not really. You don't think any of the others managed to get away. A lot of people are probably at fireworks displays and things, and you're off from the main streets. There doesn't seem to be anyone or anything particularly about. Occasionally there's a pop sound and a cluster of sparks in the sky, but it's a bit muted compared to what it might have been in previous years, because there's a constant drizzle raining down.
I assume there's no backup shelter for us. This was kind of home.
This was home. I mean, it's a good idea to have a second bolt hole, but you probably hadn't. Yeah, you'd only been there a few weeks, not really long enough to get completely settled.
Well, Scrat, this has been some shit we've been through. I think we may need to try and stick together, find some way to sustain ourselves.
Explain the surroundings again.
So you've kind of gone away from the main roads. You're in a pretty down at heel sort of council estate type area, but it's quite leafy. There's quite a few trees, probably not too far from the railway line, but where you are at the moment is a sort of alley running along all of these houses, next to a bunch of back gardens.
Fireworks tend to get people a little extra excited. Might make my work a little easier.
Shelter's probably the priority rather than getting your dick wet.
All right. Mayhaps a bridge or something of that nature?
Yeah, at least get out of the rain.
Perhaps one of the houses is abandoned. You get these boarded up buildings like that in this area.
Let's see. Let's see if you're lucky. This area that you're next to is a little bit further on. It's kind of 2-level, so it's like apartments, flats, but only sort of 2-level bedsit apartments in a big square block around a sort of muddy central square. It looks, from a quick peek, it looks like one of these flats is boarded up, so there's either nobody there or they haven't had their windows fixed. One or the other, but you'd have to get a closer look to be sure.
In here. Nice. It looks abandoned.
That bodes well. Let's check it out.
Okay. So you slope on over there and up the wet steps and creep along to this bedsit flat. Yeah, the windows are covered with chipboard. The door is also covered with chipboard. You can't really get around to the other side where the windows are that are facing out, because the walkway's only around the inside. Despite the rain, there is a strong smell of cat piss coming from the chipboard, and it looks partially disintegrated along the bottom. With a bit of a shove, you could probably break it in.
I'll kind of gesture towards Scrat.
Why do I have to do it?
I'd rather avoid the smell if at all possible.
Fine. You always get me to do the work. I try to tear it down.
Okay, so it'll be a body roll, plus if you've got athletics or any other physical skill that seems appropriate.
That is D8, and I have claws and teeth, which is D4.
Okay,
So D8 and D4.
You can use
Am
those.
Am I supposed to roll and you just trust what I roll?
Yes, we're just going on the honor system.
Oh, okay. I am very honorable. Also, Google has a dice roller now.
Yes.
Does it?
If you type in D8 and D4 into Google, I got a 7 and a 2, which is 9.
Nice. Just checking if there's anything else that you could have used. No, that's that's right. Then, though actually, you should have rolled an additional D4 as well, because you get a default of a D4 anyway, even if you don't have the appropriate skill.
Oh, okay.
So,
Oh.
and as a butcher, which was what you used to do for a living, it's going to give you some strong arms, so you can add an extra D4 onto that.
Okay. A 1, making it 10.
Okay, didn't make a huge difference. All right, it's just fairly flimsy chipboard, and it's wet. I mean, it's been raining for days, and it seems like cats have been pissing on this bottom corner of it a lot, which has disintegrated it. So it kind of gives way under your claws, almost like wet cardboard, really, and you could tear a big enough hole to scramble through.
Pry it open, hold it open for Gray to get through.
All right, and I will duck through.
Okay, yeah. So you scramble inside.
Yes.
And pull it back into place behind you.
Yes.
Okay. It's pretty goddamn dark in here, though the windows on the exterior side aren't covered by chipboard or anything, so they're just plain glass. There's no curtains or anything there. So what little light there is outside from the street, and what fragments of moon can poke through the rain clouds, so you kind of see kind of grey shapes. It looks like all the furniture's been ripped out. There's still the kind of built-in furnishings, like the kitchen thing. It's basically one big room divided into sections. Mouldering carpet. The smell of cat pee isn't just coming from outside, it's inside as well, fairly strong, which is probably why the cats have been pissing against the door in any case. But it's dry, and it's not quite as cold as being outside.
Well, any port in a storm, as they say, but I'm definitely not going to be getting laid in here, so hopefully we can find something better.
What do you mean? It's fine. It's perfect.
Oh, of course. My apologies. Yes.
I didn't stat out your bug out bags, but since monsters are constantly on the run, you're usually considered to have, basic kit. So you've probably got a torch or something you can use to look around better.
Yeah, I would do that, but I would be cautious to avoid, shining out through the windows, even though they're kind of boarded up.
All right, so you're going to cover the end of the torch with your hand, and through this kind of reddish light that shines through your fingers, you have a bit of a better look around. Your eyes are already adjusting to the darkness. This does help you make things out a lot better. There's a few old bits of carpet sort of piled up. There's a couple of syringes lying on the floor next to that. The carpet has big sort of stains in it, which seem to correlate with where the strongest smell of cat piss is. The kitchen, the cupboards are basically there, but they've suffered from damp and neglect, and there's ancient food debris caked all over it, which seems to have mouldered, and that's got into the wood a bit. Yeah, it's not nice. You can see why it's boarded up.
Mm-hmm. Seems there's been some filth nesting here in the past. If you notice the syringes.
Perhaps there are some prey for you.
There's certain things that I wouldn't put my dick in.
Sausage grinders.
Is there anything?
North end.
I mean, I would only assume that if there are any mattresses in here, they're probably in horrible shape.
There's just this pile of old sort of carpet ends, which the junkies had obviously been resting on.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally there's more pops and bangs from outside and flashes of light. Given the rain,
and
it's kind of hard to tell the difference between that and a thunderstorm a lot of the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not worth going out in. I say, make sure everything's nice and covered and sleep for the night, perhaps.
Well, those big windows don't have any curtains, and if you do wait here till the morning, then the sun's going to come streaming in through.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
I have to think about other people's needs.
I'm going to look around. I assume there's nothing to cover the windows with, because that'd be too convenient.
This dank carpet, if you could somehow get it to hang up there, but it's too heavy and wet and mouldy to really hang off the curtain hangers. You could hang your jackets, perhaps, over the windows. Or you could crawl inside the kitchen cupboard.
I know you don't care about me, but if those windows aren't covered by morning, people will see you inside here.
You don't have to address my personal issues. I'm more than capable of saying that I wouldn't be in here if it wasn't for you. Holding the door open very kindly. So, I would take my jacket and try and find some way to at least cover one of the windows.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of take the arms of your jacket and tie them around the curtain rod, and that will block out most of the sun. Not all, but most.
It's a 2-floor house.
No, what I meant was you've got one flat below, one flat above, and you're in the one above.
It's a flat. Oh no, that makes it worse. And definitely, oh no, can't block the windows. I guess I'm going in the cupboard.
Well, we'll have to be able to get you out.
Hope my typing's not too loud. I bought this very clicky keyboard because it's nice and reliable and good for writing on, and it's just really loud whenever I'm doing anything else. Okay, so you cover one of the windows with your jacket. You can cover another one with Scrat's jacket, and then you're going to crawl inside the kitchen cupboard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or airing cupboard or something.
There is a built-in wardrobe in what you presume was the bedroom area. That's relatively intact and relatively undank. So you can give that a go.
Seems comfortable. Let's do it.
Okay. Right. It's not the most comfortable place to sleep. I take it Gray is basically living a nocturnal life anyway, because he's seducing women at night and trying to keep the same kind of hours as the other creatures.
Yeah, I'm not too fond on the thunder and the storm and all that though. So
yeah.
I probably won't be terribly tired, but I think I'll try and nap if I can.
Okay, so you rest until the following evening. Right, can you roll your current satiation, just the one die, and if you get a 1, basically, then your satiation level drops by 1.
I got a 4.
Okay, so you don't lose.
I got
any.
a 10.
Okay, so you're both fine. Your satiation doesn't drop. Your hunger isn't really kicking in yet. And we start the game with some consequences already in motion, and you've done something that people might notice. So I roll to see if anything happens there. And I don't tell you the result. Okay. So dusk the next evening rolls around. Scrat, you have an extremely stiff neck from kind of sleeping sat up in a cupboard and trying to lean away from the door so you don't fall out and catch fire or anything. And Grey, sleeping on a pile of manky, junky carpets that stink of cat piss is not particularly conducive to a good night either.
No.
No. You had some rather disturbing dreams where you were trying to seduce a woman and she kept turning into a cat, and it was rather uncomfortable, and lots of claws and teeth were involved, and it's just not good. But yes, so you wake up the following evening. There's already some fireworks going off. See, the thing about fireworks night about Guy Fawkes night is you get fireworks for like a month beforehand and a month afterwards because kids stock up on them and just set them off constantly. So, that kind of helps you wake up, but you don't particularly feel, either of you, like you've slept particularly well. You're both quite kind of haggard.
No storm this time, though?
It's still drizzling.
Wow.
The rain has not let up, but there's no real storm, no.
It is Reading.
It is red.
Yeah.
Well, how do you feel about perhaps finding better quarters in this nice establishment?
Hang on, what do you mean?
Perhaps we may find some people that will let us in, let us have a good time, maybe let us sleep over.
Oh, I know. I like what you're thinking.
I am definitely in need of a bath now.
So what's the plan then? Just scout around, look for an appropriate flat to muscle in on, or?
I'm going to kind of like, well, first off, I'm going to retrieve my jacket and just kind of like see if there's anybody who's receiving takeout or anything like that. Perhaps
almost certainly.
Perhaps try and intercept the delivery and take the place of the delivery person.
Okay. You'll have to actually get out to see if anyone's coming round.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
You don't have X-ray vision and can't see through chipboard.
Right.
So, okay. Right. So you listen for a moment to make sure no one's out there just yet, and then you lift aside the broken bit of board and clamber out. So sort of leaning on the railing, watching the interior. This sort of central square area that all the flats are built around, it's just a quagmire now. There's the occasional rather hopeful looking blade of grass sticking out, but otherwise it's just a kind of a sea of mud. And the unrelenting rain and all the people who have dogs and just let them shit there and never clean it up. It's just turning into this brown shitty soup. And while you're watching, you see a guy walking his dog in it. Well, he's walking around the edge, the dog is walking in the mud and shit and getting plastered in it, and he's just having a crafty smoke underneath the hood of his raincoat. Not too long. Not too long later though, because lots of people order takeout of an evening. A Deliveroo driver turns up with a couple of big bags of stuff and starts making his way up the steps on the opposite side.
Perhaps we should wait until his final drop-off. That way, nobody reports that they didn't get their food.
You'd have to track him, and he has a car and you don't.
Ah, okay. I thought perhaps it was deliveries at the particular apartment.
Well, he's making his way to an apartment, yeah.
Okay. Well, no way that we could keep up with him then?
You can catch up to him fairly easily. I mean, he's hauling a couple of big sort of thermal bags for like pizzas or takeout or whatever it is. And he's probably already done a few deliveries, so he's not moving particularly speedily. So if you want to, you could intercept him.
Well, Scrat, I'm not going to lie to you. If we do this, there's a good chance we're going to be moving again. So, would you rather play it safe or have a good time?
Let's have some fun. Let's walk over to this delivery guy.
Okay. Yeah, you walk fairly speedily sort of around the outside, because that's easier than going down the steps and up again. And catch up to him just as he's sort of counting his way along the doors. Evening.
Oh, he said evening.
Is it? Yeah. Is this for you?
Oh no. I just was curious if you might be able to point me in the right direction. We're kind of lost.
Lost? You don't live here?
No. We were visiting a friend, and we lost our GPS. Phones are not working, and we're trying to find the closest gas station. Do you know where it might be?
Petrol station. You're in England. Okay, he kind of stops and sets down these bags, which are steaming slightly because of all the drizzle and the cold. Sort of pats around in his pockets, finds his own smartphone. Oh, I'm getting signal. Who are you with?
Oh, I don't know any companies out there.
EE. Just say EE.
Yeah, just say
That
EE.
one.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, well, there's your problem. Right, so, and where are you trying to get to? He's calling up Google Maps on his phone. Where are you trying to get to?
Just the closest petrol station, perhaps. Get something to eat, kind of reorient ourselves, that kind of thing.
Right.
Say what?
So you want to go?
Sort of,
You want to go up the slope?
Just going to kind of like give a gesture towards Scrat.
Yeah.
Maybe, knock him out.
What's it like being a delivery man?
Jesus, didn't see you there. It's all right. You get a lot of prank calls and so on. Right.
How do you know where to go?
The same way I'm telling you where to go, except we have to use the company app, which is a piece of shit if you ask me. But anyway, so nearest petrol.
So you mean that all of the delivery directions are on that phone?
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right, are you done? All right, Geezer.
I feel like I'm going to do something horrible now.
Because you probably are.
Do it.
I suppose just lunge for him.
Are you aiming to do anything in particular, or like slit his throat, or?
He has a car, right?
Yes, he does.
Grab his head and just slam it through the car window.
Okay, what's your initiative?
I don't
can't remember
know.
whether I calculated it or not for your characters.
You did not.
I did not. I suck. Clearly. Right, it's your maximum possible roll on appropriate combat skill and your maximum possible roll on your
Mind, I believe it was.
Mind, I think. Don't ask me, I only wrote the bloody thing.
I know.
I had to review it like a test.
I think that's...
yeah, highest possible mind roll and highest possible combat skill roll added together.
I think that's D8, and does blades count? That's a mask skill.
Yes.
So I'm not really using blades, am I?
Well, now you're using your claws, but it's your highest
Yeah.
combat skill because that represents your combat experience. So it does add.
So it's D8 plus D6.
Okay, so that
roll
would be
that.
14. You don't have to roll anything.
Oh.
Right, so yeah, you're faster than him, and you've got surprise anyway. So basically, you've got an opportunity to make 2 sets of actions against him.
Slam his head through the car.
Well, remember he's
window?
up on the flats right now. His car's parked down there.
Drag him to the car. I'm really committed to this car thing.
Okay, so you want to grapple him first. This is always a test for any game system. Grappling. Okay. Make your attack roll. You're trying to grab him rather than claw him, so you don't get to add your claws. So it will be body
Which is D8.
and default to a D4, I think. Yeah, because you're trained as a butcher, you've got some basic strength and so on. Right, so D8 plus D4, and then take 2 away from the
And 3. So I got a 9.
9. Okay. Was that with the -2? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Just imagine what we could do with a car, though.
Okay, so you wrap your arms around him, grab him. You've got him in a good solid hold. Then you want to sort of wrestle him down the steps, or shove him down the steps.
Yeah, drag him down the steps to the car.
Okay. Right, so another combat roll like the one you made before, but this time with +2.
Okay. So D8 plus D4.
Yep.
Let's give it a go. 6, so not as high. But +2, that's 8.
Okay. So right, you're jostling back and forth, but you haven't quite managed to wrestle him down the steps yet. You still got another action in your surprise action, so you could do so again if you want to make the roll again.
Another 8.
Okay. So yeah, you managed to bring him, drag him down the steps. You kind of half tumble, half twist and turn up against the wall as you sort of fall down all the way and reach the bottom. So now it's normal actions.
I've succeeded in moving him.
Yes, Aaron, is there anything you want to do? What's your initiative?
I'd like to just cover his mouth first of all, prevent the screaming, and just help pull.
Okay.
You know,
so
we've already committed to this. I might as well go balls deep.
He's held, so essentially helpless. So you clamp your hand over his mouth before he can raise too much of a fuss. Now I've got to remember what I did for the aid and other rules.
It's kind of interesting to learn that the whole looking through the book to remind yourself of the rules stage never ends.
It never ends. Even when you've written the game.
Yes.
Yeah. And because this is kind of like a demo, I want to make sure I've got it right rather than just pull something out of my ass. So,
It's true.
let's see. Rules clarifications. I think I put it in here. There we are. Working together. See, it does help to have written the book. You can cooperate on things, blah, 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 blah. Take the person with the highest possible total roll and provide them with bonuses. Okay, so which of the two of you has the highest body plus fighting? You had D8 plus D4.
I have D8 plus D6.
Yeah, him.
Okay, so that raises it to D10 plus D8 for having him helping you. Okay, so if you want to roll that again.
D8. D8 plus D. What was it? Sorry, D10 plus D8.
Raise the die
Yes.
type on each, so it was...
Okay, so D10 plus D8. That is a 13.
Okay, right. So you, between the two of you, you wrestle him over to the car, which is sort of parked just under the sort of overhang where they do drop-offs and pickups. So you've got him to the car. You've still got 2 actions left.
Smash head through windscreen.
Okay.
I mean, side window thing, whatever that's called.
Yeah, what is it called?
I don't know. The car window.
Windscreen, windshield.
The windscreen's the bit at the front.
Yeah,
Not
bit at the
that
front.
bit.
Yeah.
The bit on this door.
Well, for people watching at home, there's your quiz question for today. What is the side window of a car supposed to be called?
The sad thing is I've worked on cars for 4 years and I don't know what that's called.
Car window.
It's that
Door
top
window.
part of the door thing, you know what I'm saying?
It's glass. It's
The thing the Dukes
painful.
of Hazzard slide through, that bit. Hitting things, that's what we need. Oh, wrong book, that's the problem. Right, what's this going to be equivalent to? It's going to be a throw, basically, isn't it?
Ooh, if you have someone grappled, you can then perform a throw. I've got it here.
Right, so
55.
he's still helping you, so roll your 2 dice again, like you were before.
D10 plus D8. Let's go. 12.
Okay. Right. Roll a d4 and tell me the result.
4.
Okay. Right, so that's for basically hitting against a solid object by throwing him. So you beat his defense by 9. We added the damage die from smacking him into the thing. Take away his body roll. 2. So that's 7. Counts as a deadly attack because it's a solid object, unless you want to do a non-deadly attack.
That was the idea. Yeah.
Right, so every 2 points reduces his health by 1 die type. So you've done 3 die types of damage to him. Right, so his health drops from D12. 1, 2, 3 to D6. So yeah, he's pretty goddamn wounded. And it reduces his potential dice for resisting you as well. So yeah, you between the two of you, you sort of wrestle him down the stairs up to the car and smash his face through the side window and pull it back.
Yeah.
It's covered in blood. You don't need to gag his mouth anymore, as he's just too sort of stunned and insensible. You've still got one more action if you want to finish him off or knock him out or whatever.
Sounds like a plan.
Can I open the car door and then put his head in the door and then slam it on his head
Are you going to Vinny him, are you?
while saying,
Don't touch my son.
I can't help but notice you have a bit of the world wrestling style in your fighting already. Just using things in your environment. Smack, smack.
Okay.
What's the password to your phone?
Hey, not bad.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a thing.
Roll your attack.
Don't know if that-
Again, same
Okay,
as
roll attack.
before. Yeah,
Is it D10 plus D8 again?
yeah. Because you're still holding them together, aren't you?
Oh, it's a 5 this time.
Okay. Roll a d4 and add it on.
A 2, making it 7.
Okay. So that's another 2 levels of damage. Right, so that should be enough to finish him off. Okay. He's definitely unconscious.
Oh, I wanted to interrogate him.
Well, he might not be dead. Let's find out. Sorry for the long pauses.
No worries.
I'm a little bit knackered as well. I've been doing a lot.
It's got to be almost 11 over there.
9, actually. So
Oh.
not too late.
Yeah.
Why was I thinking 8 hours difference? We interrupt this moment to bring you a wonderful book.
Yay. Yeah, go ahead. Advertise for me when I...
Yeah. You can buy actual freaking monsters
Oh,
from
yes.
postmort.com.
Post-mort.com.
Is that it? Post-mort.
Yeah, mine's coming in on the 25th, I believe. But I've had the PDF.
Or lulu.com, where you can get the actual physical copy, which is what I'm using, because my eyes ain't too good, so I get migraines from reading PDFs for too long.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So it's good to have an actual physical copy of everything, I find.
Okay, yeah. Right. He's out. He's sparked the fuck out. Slamming his head in the door doesn't seem to have done him any good at all. You don't think he's dead. He's still breathing very shallowly. Bubbles of blood, snot, and spit as he just kind of lays there with his chin in the footwell.
Crouch down very close to him, and put my head very close to his, and say, "What's the password to your phone?"
He just makes bubbling, wheezing noises.
I don't think this one's in use anymore.
You can gain a point of satiation for basically mutilating the poor fuck.
That's the plan.
Because that's your thing.
That's
Well
my
done.
thing.
Now I shall whisper sweet nothings in his ear. I'm just kidding. No, we should probably
sexy when your skull is fractured.
we should probably put his body in the car, tie him up.
He's not dead yet.
So there's no
body
scene.
isn't the appropriate language to use.
Oh, well. Let's put him in the car and tie him up. Do we have anything we could improvise for, tying him up with perhaps something in the car? Maybe he's got some rope or something.
There's bags, and these heat bags have like nylon straps and things. There's probably some bungees in the boot. You've got options.
Okay. And I'll just try and haul him into the back seat and
out of
start.
sight, hopefully.
Yeah.
Why the back seat? Why not the boot? Why not?
Where were you when I was coming up with this plan?
Right, you haul him up onto the back seat. His body just kind of lolls around, bleeds a little out the ears. One of his teeth falls out and falls into the footwell. There's bits of blood and scalp on the sort of frame of the door where you were slamming his head in it.
Shit! Now I wish I would have done the trunk.
You always just put it in the trunk now.
Yeah, let's
Stick to it. Let's roll with it.
So start tying him up and saying, I've gotten quite good at this.
Gonna gag him with anything in case he wakes up?
Yeah, I'll tear off a bit of his shirt.
Yeah.
With my claws.
Yes. Okay. So your hand snaps and pops, and these great big talons emerge from it and rip parts off his shirt. Wind them up, wedge them in his mouth. He should count his lucky stars it wasn't a sock.
I think I'll pass his phone to Gray and say, "Can you use this? My nails don't make good for these touch screens."
I'll see what kind of access it requires, whether it's a pin or a fingerprint
It
or.
seems to currently be unlocked.
Oh,
Oh, I just
handy.
assumed it would be locked. Okay.
Well, have a look
'Cause,
and
yeah,
see if there's any information as to the orders. And
Yeah, there's a little alert window, so a notification push alert at the top. You sort of scroll it down. I'm assuming you know how phones work. You're not that old boomer. Yeah, there's some warning things up that his current delivery's late, and the others are getting close to. It's going to be a squeeze for him to get there in time.
Okay. We need to deliver these. See, I have a plan. We deliver these. We pretend that we're just him. Then afterwards we send a message to the boss if we can find out who that is, and just say, "Fuck this job. I'm worth more than this." And from that point, no more suspicion. Pick our favorite clientele, and from that point, see if we can get in.
sounds like a plan. Let's do it.
Okay.
I suppose we don't need him anymore, though.
Well, all right, you can't necessarily fuck him, but
No. I just meant so he doesn't wake up and rat on us.
Scrat can torture him to feed if he needs to.
Just leaving in the trunk for now. I'm bored with him.
So you want to take him out of the back seat and put him in the trunk?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. You pop,
Makes more sense.
you pop the boot and drag him around.
There was a brief moment in my life where I forgot that trunks existed. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I forgot
Didn't
what
you
the
say
name
you
of
worked
the
with
car
cars?
window was.
Yep.
Okay.
Much
so,
to my shame.
Between you manhandle him back out of the back seat, pop the boot, and look inside. There's a bunch of other deliveries currently in the boot in these thermal bags and things. So you can throw him in on top of them, or you can transfer them to the back seat and then stuff him in, or
Yeah, just throw him in the back with the pieces.
yeah, less chance of being spotted that way. Okay.
You don't care about
Right.
these.
So you shove him in and slam it shut, and then put his phone back in the cradle and follow the GPS to the next delivery. Well, this delivery hasn't been delivered yet, and his bags are still up there on the walkway.
Yeah, let's see if we can decipher which one it is and be delivery boys.
Yeah. It's still on the app, so you figure that out. You take his sort of work jacket with the company symbol on it. Who's going to do this? You, I guess. You're the more presentable one.
Despite my smelling of cat piss.
Yeah, with Scrat kind of hanging back. Hopefully the smell of whatever they've ordered will cover the smell of cat. So I guess Scrat can hang back and just keep an eye on you, just in case. You never know around here. Someone might mug you for a takeaway. You find the flat eventually. Some card has been taking all the numbers off the doors, but from one of the ones that remains, you managed to find the right one. And knock on the door. Right, let us see what we have here. Okay, the door swings open. There's a rather plump, saggy woman in her mid-40s with a severe Croydon facelift. That's when you have your ponytail really, really tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big hoop earrings, cigarette hanging out of her mouth. You can hear TV blaring away in the other room at like maximum volume. You're late.
Oh, terribly sorry, ma'am. Just had a bit of a trouble with a flat tire. Aren't you a sight for sore eyes?
You taking the piss? Look, if my chinky's fucking cold, I'm gonna give you a 1 star. You know.
That would definitely be earned if that were the case. Here's what you ordered. Again, terribly sorry. But no, not having a piss at all.
Right, you hand her the bag. She opens up and roots through it. Where's me fucking fags? You're supposed to stop off at the corner shop and get me some fags.
Oh, there must have been a mistake. It's not on the order.
How do I get a refund?
Perhaps I can make it up to you.
A guy in a tracksuit sort of leans round from the little kitchenette area and goes, "You got the fags?" There's no
sorry.
fags. He didn't bring them. Didn't bring them? Can't expect me to walk to the garage in this weather. It's fucking pissing it down.
What kind were you wanting?
Benson.
All right. Maybe I'll see about that.
Yeah, you see that you do. Alright, she takes the stuff, signs off on the app for you. Says, if you don't turn up with them fags, you're getting 1 star. And then slams the door in your face.
I think the cat piss is really affecting my skills here.
I think people are just shitty to delivery drivers.
Yeah, true. So I'll go back to Scrat and tell him how it went. See if there's anything else at this building.
Yeah, there's another delivery for one of the flats on the lower level.
Okay.
A pizza, which you've just put a half-dead body on top of.
Let's skip this one.
The app is sort of pinging and chiming and warning you that you haven't delivered on time.
Scrat, what do you think?
I think being a delivery driver wasn't as fun as it sounded. Can't we just go to each stop and murder them?
Hey, there's an idea. I think we could swing that. Perhaps I can get my jollies off another day.
You're not that hungry, so yeah. And
Yeah.
Actually, Scrat, you're full now. You're on D12 satiation.
I am.
Yeah. And you have a body that's not quite dead yet. If you need to top up ever.
But we have to do something because it's getting better.
You do need to find somewhere to hide that doesn't stink of cat pee.
Indeed. Yep. Next order.
Okay. The next order to take is another pizza. It's down on the Oxford Road.
Oh no, I meant the one that was messed up.
Oh,
Is
the
there
one-
blood on it?
The one here. So you go back out, back
is it
around
just
to the
smushed?
trunk, pop it open. He's still laying there, sort of groaning and barely breathing
Oh.
through the shirt. And yeah, the pizza's pretty crushed under him.
Okay.
You can drag it
I'll
out
just-
from under him. Yeah, so you have something to deliver.
Yeah. I'll hand it to Scrat, and then I'll just extend my talon and slit his throat.
Okay.
Not Scrat, obviously. The
No.
unconscious gentleman.
Okay. Yeah, you just drag your claw across his throat. He bleeds out, gurgles, and dies pretty quickly. Blood soaking into the remaining pizzas.
Oh shit.
But you do have this crushed one that's going to be delivered here if you want to bother doing that.
Yeah, let's do it. It'll at least get us in the door, perhaps.
Did we lose someone? The sound just changed abruptly.
Yeah. I don't know. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Jack, you still there?
No.
Oh, I think he's cut out. Oh well. Anyway, you're stealing the show at the moment, so. Right. So you spod on over to the lower flat with this crushed pizza. Fortunately, not.
There we go.
blood.
There he
There
is.
you are.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. Yeah, you ring the doorbell. After what seems too long an amount of time, the door does open. There's a stink of weed from inside, powerful enough to completely, cut out the lingering smell of cat piss from assaulting your own nostrils. And there's a sleepy-looking guy just stood there, swaying slightly from side to side. Yeah?
Hey, man. Got your order. So sorry it took so long.
He looks confused for a moment, digs his phone out of his back pocket, and goes, "Fucking brilliant! I forgot. Let's have it
What do you
then."
got? You got a party going on?
Party of one.
Party of one? What do you got going on, man? Got some video games? You got some what do you got?
I was doing something. Shit, man, this stuff is good. You
Well,
should
here,
deliver. You should deliver it. Be so much easier. One day they're gonna legalize it, and it'll be
yeah.
sweet. So, can I have my pizza?
Oh yeah. Then I'm gonna like accidentally drop it, kind of like behind him a little bit.
Oh man, no, well, it's probably
Like,
still okay.
I'm gonna knock him over.
Okay. Right, make a attack type roll, and he's stoned out of his gourd, so he's not going to be able to resist particularly well.
Let's see. Le body. All right. Fuck. That is a 3.
Okay. Somehow you fail to tackle a cane whose attention is focused on the pizza. You just kind of shove up against him. He stumbles and turns back towards you, surprised.
So I'm gonna turn back to Scrat. Dude, watch where you're going.
Yeah, it's cool you delivered it. Let me just sign off on it and let me get back to my thing.
Try again.
What does this place look like on the inside?
All right, sort of bare bones bachelor apartment, sort of thing. Not a lot in the way of furniture, but at least there's light and heat and curtains.
This looks like a nice joint. How do you afford this?
Is this the point at which you shove him again, Aaron?
Not if he's gonna try and talk to him. No,
Okay.
I would hold myself.
It's council, innit? I'm disabled or something. That's where the police kind of leave me alone on the weed thing.
Oh, that's unfortunate. You getting enough health, are you? Friends, family?
Aren't you just here to deliver pizza?
Yeah, it's our last stop.
Yeah, I
man.
mean the
just kinda
neighbors
taking our-
neighbors here are pretty good, I guess. And came here for university originally. From somewhere else, home, Plymouth. Yeah.
Oh, so you're not from around here, are you?
No. Wow, man, you've got a voice on you. Can I just sign off? I'm really hungry.
Yeah, man. Get to it. Get to it.
Okay. He reaches for your phone to sort of do his signature thing, and then sort of hunkers down to pick up the pizza off the floor.
I'm just gonna nudge Gray and say,
Bit of a loner. Lives outside of the city. No friends or family. Neighbours, police and neighbours leave him alone. You thinking
Checked
what
all
I'm
the
thinking?
boxes. Yeah. You're the one who's not inept at things. I'll give him a wink.
I did the last one. You don't have to get me to do all the work.
He very slowly gets up again with the pizza and opens the box, and it's all kind of smushed and bent over. He doesn't seem to care.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting to see.
All right, well, have a good one. And he goes to shut the door.
I put my foot in the door then.
Okay. Dude, your foot's in the way. I'm trying to close the door.
Are you seriously going to make me do all the work again? You always get me to do all the work for you.
What? Just move your foot.
Excuse me, we're having a discussion here.
Oh, I don't need a domestic on my doorstep, alright? Take it. where you're already outside. Take it more outside.
just a quick question. My reflection ability, is it just like an image, or is it able to interact with anything?
It's a copy. It's very weak compared to you.
Okay, so I will use that.
Mm-hmm.
See if I can do the reflection behind him,
Yeah.
and then have it just tap him on his shoulder.
Okay, so spend a point of satiation, so you drop from D10 to D8. So that's now your maximum die type on anything. You concentrate, draw on the power within you. For a moment, you seem to sort of shimmer, and then behind him, an identical copy of you appears. Well, almost identical. It's got something wrong with it. Slightly distorted, slightly uncanny valley. Like, doesn't blink often enough, and the color settings are slightly off on that version of you. But yeah, it appears behind him.
I was just trying to give you an opening.
I'm still arguing.
Fine. I'll attack him.
Okay, both versions of you?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So, take your normal combat roll and step each one up a die type.
Okay. So, let's see.
Are you clawing him, or...
Might as well.
Yep.
Might as well. Let's see, so I got a 10, a 4, so it's going to be... sorry, 2 and 6. All right, that's better. 11.
11. Okay. That's after stepping up the die types, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. What are you trying to do to him?
Just going to claw him.
Okay. Any particular place? Are you going for the eyes, boo?
The eyes, because he's turned around on that side.
Yeah.
And then on the back, I'll go for his... let's just go for his back.
Okay. So yeah, the two versions of you sort of converge on him at once, one either side. Sort of grab him, grapple him, start ripping and tearing and clawing at him. Right. He starts to scream as your claws bite deep into his back and slice through the flesh. Your hands get covered in blood. He's making a lot of noise.
Shit.
You still got 2 more actions.
Gotta try and cover his mouth. Maybe with my other arm, perhaps.
Yeah, the weak... Has he gone again?
No, okay.
You're muted, did you? Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So yeah, switch to a grapple then. And so boost your die types up, same as for your other attack, but then take away 2 from the total.
Okay. 5.
That's lame. That's with the stepped up dice, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Keep rolling ones.
He struggles and shoves and manages to push the mirror version of you back away from him. You've got 1 action left.
Might as well just try one more time. I want to try and prevent any screaming.
Okay, go for
Any
it.
more screaming. So is this a step down, like back to normal, since
Yeah,
one got
because
pushed?
the other one can't
Okay.
help you anymore. Well,
All right.
well, technically he still has an action as well, so he could rejoin the fight. So yeah, you can still step up.
How?
Okay. That's a 6.
6.
Wait. Yeah.
Okay. And you took away the 2, yeah?
Oh, 4.
Okay. Yeah, he throws the mirror version of you back off again. Does Scrat want to step in at all?
Yeah, I'm just walking inside and watching this going on as I look around.
How are you getting past them? Because they're kind of taking up the entry hall.
Oh, I just sort of squeeze around him
Okay.
and close the door.
Do you have any kind of... all right, they're all the wrestling has moved them back into the kind of entrance hall, so you can step in and close the door.
Yeah.
For one
Go
action.
around. I assume he has a kitchen.
Yeah, you can kind of step off to the side into the little kitchenette area.
I'm going to open one of the drawers and search around for a knife.
Okay. So you step into the kitchen, throw open a couple of drawers. That'll be the rest of your actions. And yeah, there's a drawer full of cutlery, including a butcher's knife.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right. Now he gets to counterattack.
I'm about to be beaten up by a stoner.
I completely didn't realize that my audio wasn't coming in through the right channel, so that's why I was really loud. You could hear my fan in the background.
Ah, okay.
Oh yeah, and that's why the audio cut out for a bit there, because I was trying to get it into the right channel. So, yeah.
Okay, he falls back away from you, sort of stepping over the supine form of your mirror double, back into the sort of living room section. So one action. Grabs the baseball bat from beside his bed and holds it ready to attack any one of you that comes near. The adrenaline seems to have done the world of good for sort of clearing the dope haze from his mind. So now we're on normal initiatives. So what were your initiatives? I should actually note this down.
14 for me, I believe. Okay. Let's see. Mind. Yeah, 14.
Mind plus highest combat skill. Yeah. And Jack?
Mine will be...
It was 16.
Mind 16.
Yeah. Okay. And his current initiative is 12, so he's last, but he does have an action ready. Stoner, 12. So, Jack, you're up first with Scrat. If you want to do anything, you did find the butcher's knife.
I'm just going to throw it at him.
Good batting, big man. Right. Okay. Yeah, body. You got blades as a skill, don't you?
Yep.
Go for it.
So D8 plus D6.
Yep.
7.
He rolled an 11, despite being slightly wounded.
Oh no!
So he ducks, and the butcher's knife flies past him and stabs right into a velvet picture of Elvis that's hanging on the wall. Where's the weapons? I just want to check this ahead of time.
Ast. How did you let him go?
Cocking fuck badges.
Oh yeah. Wasn't it? Are we restricted speech-wise, or is that an action?
What do you mean?
Like, can we talk to each other?
Oh, you can.
Like,
you can. Yeah, let off a sentence or two, no problem. So you don't need to worry about it.
Okay. I'm just gonna say, this is why I need you, Scrat.
Whenever a portrait of Elvis needs stabbing, he'll be there.
Just my ineptitude, my inability to tackle a stoner.
You're just bad at rolling. Your character's fine.
Apparently, knife is D4.
Yes, for damage.
Yeah.
If you hit, which you didn't. So that was one action to throw the knife. So
And I have another action.
You have another 2 actions.
Aha. Let's think what I'm going to do. Oh, okay, I've got an idea. I'm trying to do all crazy things because to demo the game. Then, can I grab the knife and then sort of like pull it out to sort of like cut him with it?
You threw it from the opposite side of the room, so you'd have to get around him.
But I'm going to grab it with my mind.
With your mind, with your telekinetic powers. I can't remember whether that takes satiation or not.
He's not going to be suspecting this. telekinesis.
Okay, so yeah, you use it doesn't cost you any satiation. You can just use it, but it will your slippage will show. And you use the telekinetic die in place of your body to make the attack.
The telekinetic die is D4.
I think it's only a D4. Yeah, but you add your sort of butchery thing to that.
D4 plus D6 plus D4, is that it?
No, it should just be D4 plus your blade skill.
Okay, D4 plus D6. Okay.
Yeah. But you're flanking him, essentially. So...
I got a 9. That's quite high.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot better than what I've been doing.
Okay, closest rule I think is a feint. So add 4 to your total attack roll. So that gives you, what was it? It's 9?
13.
13. Okay, minus his defense.
Go for the jugular.
8. So that's 5 over. It's a deadly attack. So every 2 levels does 1 damage. That's another 2 levels of damage. He'd already taken 2 from the claws. Right, so yeah, he's pretty severely injured. The butcher knife yanks itself free of the wall, spins around and stabs him right in the back, right between the shoulders. He staggers and drops down a bit, yelling at the pain. That was your last action, was it? Or was that your second action?
That was my second action.
So you got 1 left.
I was aiming for his neck. I pull it out and then put it in his neck instead.
With your telekinesis again?
No, with my hand.
With your hand. Okay, so you step up to him, grab the knife, and stab it back into him. Right, make attack roll with your full body. His current die type is limited to D4, so he only gets to roll 2D4 in defense.
D4 plus D8 plus D6, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Because you're not using your mind this time.
8.
Okay. He got... Actually, we forgot to add your die of damage last time, so it wouldn't have made a difference. Right. So roll D4 and add it on to... Sorry, what did you get to attack again?
8.
8. He got 6 to defend, so that leaves 2. Then roll a D4 and add it on.
1. 9.
Okay. So still only 1 level extra damage, but that's enough. Okay, so you grab the blade from his back, stab it into the side of his neck, sort of getting down between the collarbone. He's not dead yet, but he's going to bleed out unless you do something. And he just kind of collapses face forward, and his blood starts pooling in the carpet.
That's better.
If you weren't full, you could have another level of satiation. Right, so you've got him, and you're in the apartment, and it's closed, and it's a lot nicer than the cat piss smelling one. It was a long way around to get that done. So what now?
So he has shed himself of this mortal coil.
He will bleed out and die unless you intervene, which I don't think you're likely to do.
No. Is there anything like a rug or anything I can roll him up in?
Shower curtain.
Shower curtain? Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. Yeah. Do that. See if he has any cleaning materials I can kind of like clean off. Clean up the blood and stuff like that.
It's a bachelor's apartment. He has
Fair
virtually no cleaning products other than washing up liquid and clothes soap.
But he has curtains, yes.
Yes, he does have curtains. And a heater that works, and a television, and a proper bed. And some
weed.
And some kitsch paintings. Yeah, and a giant bong and a whole lot of weed.
And pizza! Yum.
Yes.
Pick up the pizza and eat it.
Nom, 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 nom. Yes, you do have to actually eat real food too. So it's only slightly crushed and bloodstained. It's fine. 2-second rule.
Well, so we have a place to stay. Perhaps we should. Let's see. This delivery is completed. Are there any other ones at this apartment building?
No, everything else is somewhere else.
Okay, so at that point, I'll send. I'll try and locate the manager or the boss or whoever in the app or anything like that, and just send a very disgruntled text saying "fuck you, I'm never working with this company again. Y'all are all pieces of shit." Just really ranting and raving and all that kind of stuff. Basically say I finished this building, but I'm not doing any more.
Okay. You send the message, and yeah, it starts pinging away with sort of angry messages from the boss. But yeah, you can just ignore them. That'll have even more of a good effect.
It's really hard to avoid consequences in this game, I'm noticing.
Yes, there are always
But
consequences.
that is where the joy comes from.
Mm-hmm. So, you have a nice warm place with a kitchen. You do have a body wrapped in a shower curtain and another body in the back of a delivery car, which is still parked in the short-term drop-off entrance to the complex.
And I'm watching telly.
Do we have an established body disposal method that we typically use?
No. Back at the place, one of the guys there was a cannibal, and that would take care of it quite easily. But you don't have him with you anymore.
Shit. I have to go at it mafioso style. Just find a good place to dump it. Kind of carve it up beyond recognition.
Why bother? Just leave it there.
They might find us. They might trace his steps.
I hate doing busy work. I just want to watch TV.
He doesn't have satellite or cable, so you're just stuck with the terrestrial channels.
Ah! Last, Jeremy Kyle! No!
Well, no, it's evening, so
Oh yeah.
The one show!
that's one good thing about being nocturnal. You don't have to watch daytime television.
That's better than Jeremy Kyle. I'm happy instead.
Maybe search the place for more stuff that might be interesting. I have to get my head out of America. I'm thinking, I'm sure this guy's got a gun somewhere, but no.
He had a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he didn't have a gun.
You root around. You find a Paddington Bear biscuit tin stuffed to the gills with weed. Cereal, milk, more cereal. A few tins of supermarket lager. A couple of ready meals. That's about it. Cutlery, a few sets of clothes, mostly sort of tracksuit bottoms, sort of comfy, around the house sort of stuff. In the little bathroom where you found the shower curtain, there's quite a lot of quite powerful painkillers in the medicine cabinet.
I suppose we could always put the body in the car and drive it out somewhere and burn it.
Let's worry about it tomorrow.
So do
I
you
mean,
want
what are the odds that they're going to search the trunk of a vehicle? Oh, shit. There's blood on the seat. Oh.
It's parked in the shortstop.
Yeah.
Parking garage.
We're gonna have to do something with it. Might as well get rid of both of the bodies. Is it late enough that we might be able to get away with that unnoticed?
You might be able to.
Yeah, what time is it?
You've been faffing around for a couple of hours since sunset, but the sun's setting fairly early now, so it's probably somewhere around 8 p.m.
Got plenty of time till sunrise.
Yeah. Rest maybe 4 hours or so, maybe 5.
Let's take the bodies and drive them to underneath a bridge and burn it.
Yep. So you wait and get your breath back. Your mirror double is still there, by the way, Aaron. At the moment. He doesn't fade until midnight.
Finish watching the one show.
It is a
They're,
three-seater.
they're interviewing Patrick Stewart. They're making him do the floss. It's a kid's craze.
Alright, so you stop, rest, get your breath back, eat the crushed, slightly blood-stained pizza, and then you're going to have to clean up this mess. But you've left it late enough that hopefully you should be able to get this second body down to the car without any real problem.
Okay.
If you're lucky.
Yeah.
Okay. So you carrying him between you?
I think that's probably the
Yeah.
most likely way we'd be able to do it.
Okay. Yeah. So you grab him and you drag him outside down the stairs. It might be a bit of a squeeze in the trunk. So do you want to put him on the back seat, or do you want to just wedge him in there somehow?
Wedge him in.
Yeah. We can always cut him up a little bit.
Okay.
Can
You make mind alertness type rolls, both of you, please?
All right. See, mind is more my thing.
If you've got any appropriate skills for being aware of your surroundings. Otherwise, default to a D4. You've got acute senses.
Sense of smell, yeah.
Let's add that on top.
Okay. I rolled quite low. 7.
I got a 6.
Whoa, no!
Okay, so you pop the trunk, the other body's in there. It's kind of settled a bit. And it's crushed the pizzas and so on down below. So it's a bit easier than you thought to stuff them in there. But then you hear some voices getting closer. And Scrat, you smell alcohol and lingering but not fresh weed. But then that might just be the body. But someone's coming.
Someone's coming. Distract them. I'll get this in here.
Wait, where am I giving the orders? Breaking character.
Yeah.
So, what do I smell like more now? The piss or the weed?
Weed and blood is what you smell like at the moment.
Oh, shit. Interesting combination. Let's see. I'm just going to walk towards them and then try and use my assess character skill and kind of see what kind of people they seem to be.
Okay. Make a roll on that then. That'll be mind plus that.
What in the hell? 6.
Okay, well, besides the obvious, you don't really know. So, yeah, you sort of turn away and go to intercept these people. They're coming down the street towards this little estate, and you kind of step out around the drop-off parking, and you're right there in front of you. There's 3 kids in soaking wet hoodies with a sort of damp cigarette that they're passing back and forth between them. They all smell a bit of alcohol. So yeah, you're getting sort of rough types, but other than the obvious that they're probably ne'er-do-wells, young men with nothing to do of an evening. That's all you can really tell about them.
Oh, okay.
They carry on walking like they're expecting you to just step out of the way.
Okay. Let's see.
I'm just still trying to shove the body in the back of the trunk and sort of pulling out some of the pizzas and to make room.
Yeah, that does the trick. So provided he delays them for just a couple of seconds, you should be okay.
So I'll just approach them and I'll say, "You gentlemen look like you could use a good time."
Yeah, fuck off, nonce. And they go to step around you.
What, you don't want some killer weed?
That brings them to a halt. What? You
Yeah, I
can't
happen
go.
to have some.
You can't
happen
go
to have
approaching
some really
pe-
good shit.
You can't go approaching people, right? Asking if they want a good time when you're trying to sell weed, right? Not since Jimmy Savile.
Listen, I've been out of the business for a while. I'm sorry.
Yeah, lol. Okay, boomer. All right, what you got?
It's I don't know, man. It's just some really good shit I got from a friend, but I've got like like a couple pounds of it. So I thought I might share the wealth for a little small sum, since I didn't have to spend anything on it.
All right, how much?
Fucking European metric.
What, weed is sold in ounces and sixteenths, and yeah.
Yeah, I
imperial
would.
measurements,
So I would. I would basically go with fair market price and half it for the most part.
Okay. Okay, internet. How much is weed going for? I haven't bought any in ages. I never really got
no
on
idea.
with. I never really got on with weed. Most. I have weird brain chemistry. Even legal pharmaceuticals, I have issues with quite often. So
I've never tried it, and it always baffled my friends when I told them that.
I think Henry Rollins once described the experience of being stoned as being too much like being bored. He just couldn't stand it. That was my experience. Bored, hungry, but slightly nauseous.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, and one of my close friends only tried it once, and he said it made him completely paranoid.
Yeah.
So there might have been something in it.
Priceofweed.com.
Wow.
I do value my authenticity, so maybe if we've got fact checkers in the audience. Now, is it Great Britain or United Kingdom in this drop down? It's United Kingdom. You never know. Big problem. Berkshire, Reading. There we go.
I'm pretty sure it's sold in ounces.
Yeah.
So like a 16th of an ounce would be like £5.
That's a
See,
lot
now
lower.
you just confused me because I'm thinking in pounds of marijuana.
It's a lot lower than it used to be. But yeah, okay. Never mind. Screw the authenticity.
I remember when a dime bag was just a dime.
Right. Yeah, you offer it at a stupidly low price, and they look sort of surprised. So surprised you actually see their eyes underneath their hoodies. Then they step off a bit and huddle and root through their pockets and get together as much money as they can, and sort of hold it out to you. Yeah, give us as much as that'll get.
All right, so I'll take a look at the money and just kind of mull it over. Make it look like I'm really concerned about how much I'm getting for the money.
Yeah,
and I'll say, all right, just hold back just for a second. I'm gonna go get the stuff. Like, give me just a minute.
All right. They just step to the side slightly out of the rain and wait for you.
Okay, so I'll run, retrieve like I don't know, like half the stash.
Yeah,
'Cause I really don't care.
Yeah,
I don't use it. I need to be clear-headed.
Yeah.
So then I'll get back to them and just be like, here you go, fellas.
okay. They look at you like you're the stupidest, most idiotic, clueless mug in the world for a moment before they sort of get
I
their
am a boomer.
expressions under control, and then take the weed and carry on and in. But by then, it's all sorted out. One of them does hang back though, Scrat, and say, "What's all this food all over the floor?"
I'm a pizza delivery man.
Oh,
Yes,
pedo alert!
let's
Second
go
time
with
of
that.
the evening. Right, peace out. Right, that problem's successfully dealt with. And you've got 2 bodies in the boot.
I
Pizza in
assume
the
I know
back
how to
seat.
drive.
Okay, you shove the mangled, blood-stained pizzas into the back seat. And where are you going to take this car?
Let's Reading.
river?
What does Reading actually look like? I don't know how.
It looks like someone lifted one of the sort of middling, slightly seedier districts of London and plonked it down a short distance away.
Yes.
Has a canal running through it. The Oxford Road, which is what you're near to, is like the most notorious shitty area of Reading.
Let's take it to the canal then, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but not the part that runs through the
Is there
town.
like an industrial state in?
Yeah, and there's quite a lot of sort of waste scrubland just outside the town, which quite often has burnt out cars in it, as it happens.
Yes, that's a better place to take it
That's
then.
the one.
Okay. So you drive it out of town. I mean, you're not too familiar with the area, but you've got your GPS and you've been around a bit, and you kind of vaguely know where you're going. Drive out of town for like 20 minutes, maybe. Once you clear the traffic, things go a lot smoother. And take a track off, basically. The ground's really waterlogged, and the car struggles a bit. Who's driving?
Probably me, because I think you have got kind of messed up hands, you said.
I assume we're gonna stop to pick up some petrol to burn the car with on the way.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've got some cash, and you've got whatever the 2 people in the boot had on them as well. Right, to sort of wrestle the car through the mud without it getting stuck. Someone's going to have to make a body roll. It's a body plus D4, unless you've got any particular skill that's suitable for driving. Who's got the highest?
Nope.
Who's got the highest body?
Not I.
Maybe me.
What? I've got a
We have
D8.
I have a D8 as well. We have the same body.
Okay.
Okay.
So just one of you decide who's driving and roll.
I've been rolling low. Go for it.
Well, you said you were driving, so
Okay, I'll drive. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Are you? That's a 4. Even with a D8 and a D4.
half of. Oh no.
Okay. Yeah. Almost the moment you're off the road onto this track that leads onto this bit of waste ground, you almost immediately get stuck. The ground's just so soggy, and you've got you 2 and 2 bodies in the back, and the rear wheels just kind of dig into the mud and can't get any traction, and you just come to a halt, like almost immediately on this track. You've only gotten about like 5 meters off the road, and there's still cars whizzing by with reasonable regularity on the B road.
I put that one in my dice jail, by the way. the D4, because the D4 has been a 1 like every single time.
It's a guy called Graham in my regular gaming group, and no matter what the game or how good his character is, he's just appalling at rolling. He's always botching, always failing. I think he almost got blown out of an airlock in like the first 5 minutes of one science fiction game session.
And yet I kill PCs regularly with no issue. So do you have anything that can help get us out of this? Are we just going to...
I'll get out and push then.
Okay. Make the driving roll again, but raise the die types. So D8 plus D6 to try and get it free.
Okay.
D8 plus D6. Let's give it a roll.
Me?
7. I got 7.
Oh.
Well, either of you can roll. It doesn't matter. But let's go with that, shall we?
Okay.
Right, with a lot of shoving and dragging some sticks and things underneath the wheels, you manage to get the car free again. Scrat gets completely splattered with mud, but the car is free and sort of bounces and judders and moves on down the track. You take it a lot slower, and that seems to help with the traction and the sinking problem. And you do manage to get it out into this field. There's a lot of broken windscreen glass, bits and pieces of where other cars have been burnt out here. It does seem like it's the place.
All right, let's get to it.
So splash petrol all through it and in it.
Yes.
Yep, because you did stop off and get a canister, and you've got
I'll take-
lighters or matches or whatever you need.
I'll take out some of the pizza boxes.
Okay. Well, they're in some of those sort of heat insulated bags, but they're not really warm anymore. But still, you can carry them. Keeps the rain off them a bit. Yeah, you splash petrol all around and in the boot, all over the car, and set it alight. There's a sound like several surprised dogs. Woof! And the fire goes off, and burns pretty rapidly through the car. Probably be a good idea to get away from here.
Yeah.
You flee.
Let's just add another consequence. Of course, the thing is, right? It was 20 minutes of driving to get out here in the drizzle, and now you don't have a car.
Guess we're walking back.
Trudge. Somehow you thought the life of a monster would be more glamorous.
At least we have the pizza.
Yes, to sustain you. Stuffed crust. Ooh. Yeah, so a lot of trudging later, and nobody stops for you to offer you a lift or anything. But you eventually get back to the stoner's flat. Well, your flat now. And get back inside. You can hang your clothes up to dry. You've got a change in your go bag, and you're pretty much dead on your feet. So
Well, on the way, would I have had an opportunity to destroy the phone and then just get rid of it?
toss it into the road and let cars run over it several times.
That works.
Yeah, that'll work fine. Right, roll your current satiation, and if you get a 1, it drops the level.
D12.
Well, since I spent one, I'm down to
10.
D8 already,
Yeah,
So no.
and but I got a 5, so it's not going to go any lower.
You're fine. But remember, that limits your maximum die type.
Okay. So it notes here that for D8, my eyes are going to be slippage, I guess.
Yeah. So what? Now that you're down to that level, was it silvery eyes? I think.
It just says eyes, so I assume.
Okay. Yeah, they glow or are mirrored or something appropriate.
Things are getting desperate.
Okay. Yeah, you're starting to feel hungry. Right. You rest up, no problem, no trouble during the day. When you finally wake up again, it's evening again. Still a bit achy for having to walk all that distance and all that body dragging around and the fighting and everything else. Your mirror double's gone now.
Mm-hmm.
Evaporated into mist. But you've got shelter again, some sort of security until one of the many things you've done comes back to bite you on the arse. Well, what's your plan for this evening?
I need to hit a club or something, or a bar. Anything. Need a night on the town.
Fine. I guess I'll be your wingman, as they call it.
I'll have to procure some sunglasses and pretend I'm blind or something.
Stoner guy had some sunglasses, some of those holographic ones with weed on them.
So also take a very, good shower. If he had the amenities, I would wash my clothes and all that kind of stuff, so I don't
Yeah,
smell awful anymore.
he's got a tiny little washer dryer machine sort of tucked away in the corner. So yeah, you can freshen up some of your clothes.
Gotta look good.
As good as you can.
Yes, with what I got. So, are there any establishments in the area?
Plenty. It's a student town, so. But remember, you have to seduce someone inappropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Lots of pubs. There's a few other venues. There's a few sort of tatty, horrible nightclubs. There's a few sort of student hangout bars like the Purple Turtle.
You know what? Fuck that. I've got something else in mind. I want to go buy those cigarettes.
Okay. Yeah. We think you've figured out the way to get to the garage, which is probably the easiest place to get the cigs. Scrat, you following along with them, or?
Yes.
Okay. So you step out. It's not actually raining tonight, but it's a lot colder. So your breath is coming in puffs. Sort of huddle your jackets around you. Oh, wait, you left those in the as curtains in the other house. Well, you huddle up as best you can to keep warm, and head on over to the garage. Yeah, you can pick up the cigarettes and some snacks and so on. I mean, you've still got to eat, and that pizza's no longer as appetizing as it once was. Not that it was particularly appetizing.
Dover pizza's fine.
Get some Ginsters or something, and some fizzy pop.
Do you remember what brand's cigarettes she wanted?
I think they said Benson's. I don't smoke, but I think that's what it was.
Benson and Hedges. The gold ones.
Yes.
All right.
Yep. They don't ask for ID. Yeah, you're in your 50s.
I'm old. I'm a boomer.
You're a boomer. Yeah, so you buy a few packets of cigarettes.
Yeah. I'll make sure it's at least 3. Spend a little extra just to try and make it up to them, sweeten the pot.
Yeah. Okay.
And then return and see if 40-year-old woman with the hoop earrings is home.
Okay. Scrat's still hanging around, but hanging back so as not to cramp your style, I would hope.
I'm gonna... before you head in, I'm gonna say...
keep an eye on things from the back.
But I could use you. I'm thinking perhaps, the guy might not be too into it.
That's what
Might
I
need
said.
somebody to restrain him.
That's what I mean.
Oh,
I'm gonna go around the back of the house.
the back of... Okay. Yeah, we're good.
It's a second floor one, remember, so getting around the back would involve climbing over the roof and hanging by the window, but you can hang around and intervene if and when necessary. Okay. So you stroll up to the door. Bing bong. Right, it opens again. It's her. Could swear it's same outfit. Might even be the same cigarette. You're not sure. Is that yeah?
Definitely not the same cigarette.
Do you remember me?
Oh, you were here yesterday. Where's my fucking cigarettes?
And then I'll just kind of like bring them out very sensually. Here you are, my dear.
How do you
give someone a cigarette, essentially?
I brought you
Just
60
just
Benson
bring them out
Hedges.
with a
They're
flourish.
in my pants.
I'll say one for your friend and 2 for you, my lovely dear.
She looks at you like you've gone mental, or you're just born that way. But takes the cigarettes. All right.
Speaking of, is he here?
He's down the pub.
Ah, I see.
Well, thanks for the fags. I'll put my score back up.
Oh, shit. I'm not getting anywhere with her. Well, so let me ask you this: I have the looking good, D6.
Yeah.
Does that help me at all with putting myself together earlier?
Yes.
All right. So is it possible for me to do anything with that?
You try and catch her eye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, roll spirit plus looking good.
Okay. So it'll be
Right.
2d6s.
She's fairly stupid and quite vain, so it shouldn't be too difficult, but then you can't roll to save your life. So
7.
7.
Mhm.
Okay, well, if you could show her your eyes, you'd be giving her a smouldering look, but as it is, you're giving her a smouldering weed look, I guess. But you're a good-looking fella, and you're pretty well put together. Yeah, there's no harm in looking. So she's got that constant sneering look in her face, but you do notice her eyes sort of give you the up and down.
When's the last time somebody showed you a really good time?
You, when you brought me these fags.
I can do much more than that.
Are you coming on to me?
Perhaps.
She holds up her hand in front of you. She says, I'm a married woman, and there isn't a wedding ring on the finger that she's trying to show you.
Not for the moment, you're not. You look like just a woman in need of some special treatment, something you've been deserving for some time, but perhaps you're not getting.
She leans up against the door. What do you have in mind?
Perhaps a good pampering and something a little bit more penetrating.
Look, I'm married, and he's only down the pub.
Oh, my friend can keep him preoccupied if that's an issue.
What, that creepy ratty-looking fella?
That's the one.
I resent that remark.
You're an odd pair, you two. Don't you have any more deliveries tonight?
Oh no, I've got a far better gig now.
Roll your spirit plus line in patter.
Okay. Well, I can only go up to a D8 with that, so I'll be a D6 and a D8. Yeah, I got an 8.
An 8.
Mhm.
Right. You get the sense that her resistance is weakening. The handsome older man showing someone like her so much attention. She's still suspicious of you, though. You need something to convince her. Some sort of final push of some kind.
Shit.
I'm trying to think like.
I mean,
anything
my
that I-
original thought was just drop trow. But maybe I'll give her a caress on the face, see how she takes to it.
Okay. Yes. Are you married? Has drop trow ever worked in your experience? maybe do the helicopter. Dear. Okay. So yeah, you're trying to be sensual. This is kind of your thing as a monster. Okay. Yeah, roll spirit and line in patter again. This is all body
Okay.
language is language. We'll let that.
Oh, that's good. I got a 10.
Ooh, finally a good roll. All right. She almost sort of jumps and starts away when you reach out to caress her, and then kind of leans back into it and then closes her eyes and yeah, the way she recoiled, you don't think she's been touched in an appreciative way in a very long time. But you're in like Flynn.
So yeah, if you've ever seen You Don't Mess with the Zohan, I'm going to give her that treatment.
All right. She grabs you by the shirt and pulls you and says, "Right, we've got 15 minutes." Right. Fade to black or fade to whatever colour the door to their flat is. And 14 minutes and 59 seconds later, you emerge, rumpled.
Watch.
The wizard comes precisely when he means to.
And yeah, you seduced a married woman. Nothing too that's kind of just barely transgressive, I'd say. So you can feed up one level of satiation.
No more eyes. Yes, I take off the sunglasses afterwards.
Yes, that's better.
Yes.
Right, she lingers in the door as you leave in a ratty dressing gown.
I'll give her a wink and say, maybe I'll see you again sometime. It's been wonderful.
She looks a bit regretful, but tries to put a brave face in it. They should call it Deliver Ooh. See you around.
Give her a wave and head out.
Yeah. Right. Got to keep track of all these consequences because none of them are burning off at the moment.
Not to brown nose, but I love that system. just the way it all kind of like it's a adventure generator or encounter generator.
Yeah,
basically.
Shit catches up to you, and then you're
Yes.
in deep shit. Right. So yeah, you're feeling better. You've taken the edge off your hunger. So there's still a little bit there, but otherwise, you're safe, secure. You're both reasonably well fed. You've actually got some breathing room for once, which doesn't happen that often.
Mm-hmm.
You've dealt with all the mess, the bodies, the car. You sort of finally feel like you can relax a bit.
We could watch.
What's it called?
Ah, no. We could watch I'm a Celebrity.
Well, I mean, we could, or we could perhaps try and make some connections with people. Maybe set up future endeavors.
Or
The night is young.
Or Anton Deck's Takeaway. It's pretty good.
Scrat's definitely on a TV kick. So you can just slob in front of the telly eating cereal. So what did you have in mind for making contacts? Or
Just hitting up bars, mostly
Putting
places
out a
where
few-
people are willing to talk to strangers.
putting out a few feelers and that sort
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah. You can spend your time doing that. Yeah. So
Basically, look for vulnerable targets for what I like and for what my friend here likes.
yeah, that'll help later on if you want to track down something to hunt or kill, or otherwise have your wicked way with. Right, another night passes. Can you roll your current satiation? And if you get a 1, it goes down.
9. Nice.
D12. A 5. So I'm safe.
You're safe. Yeah.
I've been pretty good for a while.
Yeah.
It's hard to roll a 1 on a D12.
Yeah, but then it accelerates quite rapidly once you.
Yes, I can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine.
And you do spend them to heal and stuff like that if you get hurt. You've been quite lucky there so far. Uh-oh. Okay. Gray is awoken during the day by an authoritative knock on the door.
Shit. I'm gonna kind of like scramble to see if there's any visible blood on the floor before I answer.
There's a great big brown crusty puddle of it right where you killed the guy.
Oh, fuck. Does it look like I could move some furniture to cover it, or
There's a bean
like,
bag you could drag over on top of it.
yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that.
Okay.
Just kind of just I guess open the door.
Okay. You open the door. There's a couple of policemen there. Takes his hat off, tucks it under his arm. Mr. Hanover, is it?
Just for curiosity's sake, what do I look anything like the guy that we killed?
You're 52. He was 20 something.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm his uncle.
Oh, right. So he's not here at the moment.
No, he's went out on a trip with some friends. I'm house sitting for him.
I see. Well, a delivery driver. Something happened to him here a couple of nights ago. We found his body and an as yet unidentified body in a burnt-out car.
That's terrible.
And according to the records from his app, this was the last place he did some delivery. So we're just knocking on doors, asking around, trying to see if anyone saw him or anything that happened to him. Were you here a couple of nights ago?
Oh no, not yet. That was actually the night before my nephew left. Strange coincidence.
So where's your nephew gone?
He, like I said, he went with some friends to just go and have a good time. I think they were off to see a game of some sort.
Do you have a contact number for him?
Shit. I had it stored in my phone, but I lost my phone. I know this is ridiculous.
Yes,
but no, I don't.
It's quite ridiculous.
I don't have a means to reach him at the moment. But I can, I can go to my wife's and try and get it from her.
If you would, I'd be most appreciative.
Yeah. Is there a number I can reach you at?
Yes, here's a card. Just call into the station with any information that you have. We're going to be poking around here for a while, talking to some of the other neighbours to see if they saw anything. So if anything occurs to you while we're still here, just pop out and give us a shout.
Definitely will. And thank you for everything that you do.
How long are you here for?
It's supposed to be just a few more days.
Okay. Right, he makes a few notes in his book. Can you make a spirit plus line in patter roll, please?
Okay.
To see whether you fumbled enough to tip him off that something was wrong.
I got a 9.
Okay, he seems slightly suspicious of you, but you think you got away with it. Okay, and the police move off. You gonna go back to bed?
I'll now in this place we have like the light's not going to bother Scrat, right?
No.
No. Okay, so I'll just kind of nudge him awake and say, "Well, we just got a visit from the police."
The police? What do they want?
Well, they want us, clearly. They're trying to track down, the guy that we killed, in order to find out about the other guy that we killed. So, yeah, they wanted a number from me, but that I don't have, and so I kind of bullshitted my way out of it originally. But I'm a little concerned we might have to try and accelerate our plans to find another place to go. And unfortunately, now they know what I look like.
Do you think we have enough time to wait until darkness?
Oh, yes. I don't think that will be an issue.
Then we should leave in the evening.
I agree.
There's another knock on the door.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. And that's his reaction. Look through the peephole.
It's the police again, with a much more stony and grave-looking expression.
That's good.
Shit. So I'm going to. Did I see? Is there? Could I tell how many of them there were?
Just the two.
Just the two.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to real quick wake up Scrat again, and
Yeah. I'm still awake.
oh, you're still awake? Okay. So basically tell him to get ready.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'm
grab the bat,
the
hide
butcher.
it,
Yeah, I'm grabbing the butcher's knife.
and then just like open the door after we're kind of prepared. So I'll be close to the door, and I don't know if he's going to be like hiding behind a counter or something.
Yes, hiding around.
Sorry to bother you again, sir. Can we come in for a moment?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to quietly get into the cupboard.
Right, you sort of peep through the crack and see the police moving around. Do you have any tea, sir?
Tea.
Yes.
I haven't even checked. I'm not much of a tea drinker myself. Kind of a
I'll
beer
have
kind of
I'll have
person.
PC Roberts check for you. The kitchen's just here, yes.
Yeah, it's just over there. Yeah.
The other Bobby goes into the kitchen, starts rattling around. You hear the kettle going. Would you like to sit down, sir?
Sure.
Your nephew.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm afraid he's just been positively identified as the other body from the bolts and repairs that were used to fix his spine.
Oh, good.
God.
That's sorted.
I'll try and look as like shocked and saddened as possible. Just
The gasp!
yes.
Who could have foreseen such a
I
thing?
can't believe it. He's so young.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
Make a spirit and line in patter roll.
All right. Let's see. That is an 8.
Okay, good enough. Yes, you think about your cat you had as a child that died or something to bring the tears welling up. The other policeman comes back with the tea and hands it over to you. Sorry, sir, I didn't know how you liked it.
Oh, I'll be happy to take it. However,
Do you know anyone who would have had any reason to attack him? Did he have any enemies? I'm sure you watch crime dramas. You know the sort of questions I'm going to be asking.
yeah. Well, to be perfectly honest with you, I did hear a horrible rumor that he was dealing drugs at one point. So I was worried that might happen to him someday.
Did you find any drugs on the premises, sir? He sort of glances at the giant bong. That's
Yeah,
to one side.
I'm going to like look kind of shamed in a way, and just like kind of gesture over to the collection in the container,
Yeah,
the padding
the
Paddingworth container,
Yeah.
and basically say I wanted to talk to you all about this, but I just didn't know how to do it. I mean, he was my nephew, and
You should have told us or told someone, sir. But given the circumstances, we'll just confiscate this and
very
let
well.
that be an end to it.
But no, as far as outside of that, I mean, he was just full of joy, and nothing ever really bothered him, and people just loved him. I don't see why anybody would ever want to hurt him.
It's good to hear, sir. Quite often, when people get crippling injuries, such as he had, they get very very depressed. So it's a shame that this happened to him, especially. I mean, it is anyway, but especially after hearing that he had such a positive outlook on life.
Oh yes, absolutely. He always had very high spirits.
Very high, sir.
And a very soft neck.
Well, please don't leave, or inform us if you're going to leave. If we have any other questions, we'll be back. We'll be investigating this double homicide with all the care, attention, and resources that we can muster. So I assure you, we will find out whoever's responsible for this and bring them to justice, sir. But if you could remain here for the time being, at least during the early phase of the investigation, we'd appreciate it. I'm sure you want to call the rest of the family and so on. So we'll get out of your hair, sir.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
Right, the two policemen leave for the second time.
I'm gonna come out of the cupboard.
We need to go quickly.
Fuck this place. Fuck it hard.
They're going to get in. If they know who he is, they're going to get in contact with the lad's parents. As soon as they get in contact with their parents, they're going to find out he doesn't have an uncle.
Yeah. Or if he does, that he's not as handsome as I am. So, yeah, we need to get the fuck out of here. And I probably need to cover my face in some way.
Your face! Your face! You know, forget about your face. You know what happens when I go out in sunlight?
Well, I just don't want to be noticed. They're going to be looking for me. They haven't seen you.
They're seeing me plain as enough when I'm in flames.
What time is it?
It's not long after midday.
We might need to chance it.
Okay, I need lots of blankets and sunscreen. Get a car or something.
Why am I being so demanding?
Could we try and fashion it into like a burqa? For him? Is there like a black sheet perhaps?
There's sheets, not black ones, and blankets, and there's the guy's spare clothes. You could swaddle Scrat up quite well, turn him into a t-shirt ninja, and he could wear the sunglasses and everything. So for a short period, you could go out in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to have somewhere to go.
Yeah.
We could head back to that place we broke into a couple of nights ago.
I'm not sure that'd be safe. They're already investigating the area. I think we need to try and I don't know.
How much money do you got there?
I think I would still have
You got
about $400.
That's enough to book. That's enough to book into a hostel.
hostels tend to be a bit communal. You could find like a cheap hotel, like a Premier Inn or something. Grab a room there.
Yeah.
Or Travel Lodge or something.
Let's see if we can do that.
Let's go for authenticity again.
This was first floor, wasn't it?
Yeah, ground floor.
Okay.
Naming conventions are different. It's another confusing thing.
Mm-hmm. So I'd say we probably go out through a back window or something if there is one.
It's a lot of hotels in Reading. God knows why. Yeah, so Travelodge is about £100 a night. You don't want to go in any of the smaller sort of family-run ones because that's a bit too intrusive.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a lot closer to the centre of town though. But in some ways that's better. You know, easier feeding grounds and so on. It's just more likely to be stumbled upon. Right, so you swaddle Scrat up and head off. You don't have a car, so it's a bit of a walk, but not too far. But Scrat, you're sweating away inside, even though it's cold outside. You're just so utterly swaddled up, and you're constantly sort of checking to make sure no sun can peek in anywhere. You get a lot of strange looks, but not as many as you would have thought. There's quite a lot of homeless people around the area, so it only becomes more of an issue once you get more into the kind of centre of town. You rock up to the hotel. They don't care as long as you've got money. So, hand over the cash, get a room, and hide away in there. That's you secured for another 24 hours at least. 2 beds. Very Eric and Ernie. Nice heavy curtains because people like to sleep here during the day. So you get a lot of travellers coming through. But yeah, it's bare bones. There's coffee and tea making facilities, of course. Do you want to do anything extra to secure the place, or?
No. I'm trying to think if there was any incriminating evidence or anything that we left behind in the flat, but I couldn't think of anything.
The huge bloodstain.
Well, the huge bloodstain, yes, because it's assumed that he's been murdered in the flat. That's what we're letting go.
Fingerprints, perhaps.
Yeah, they've got fingerprints, don't they?
It's not like there's some big database or anything.
They will now.
Oh dear, I didn't think of that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're terrible monsters.
In both senses of terrible.
Yeah, we're. I imagine that my face is going to be on the news pretty soon.
Didn't have enough petrol to set fire to the flat. Damn. Darn.
That might be a little too obvious.
Fire solves most problems.
Fire solves all problems. Should have set fire to it. Well, we can't stay here forever.
No, definitely cannot.
What even was that gunshot back at the old hideout?
Someone was clearly out to kill us. It was not just arson. And the flames moved unnaturally. So, might have been one of our own. Someone turned traitor.
She killed them as well.
Maybe we should try and reach out to the others if we can.
They'll be lying low in the way that you've been trying to, but possibly more successfully.
Did I have any luck with the putting out the feelers the night before?
Yeah, you scouted around. You noticed a few appropriate items of prey around there. Happy couples that you could break up, or freshman students just recently come to the university. The age gap and so on should make that appropriately transgressive for you.
Now you have my attention. Okay. But you know what? I have a special place in my heart for breaking up happy couples. So try and think back on one of them and see if I can recall what they looked like, and if I would have gotten any information as to where they might be. Maybe I was eavesdropping or something like that. Or maybe they just told me willfully.
It's a happy couple that basically run one of these pubs close to the town centre, which is where you are now.
Mm-hmm.
They have a flat above the pub, so that's fairly convenient, all in one place. Strong personal relationship, strong working relationship. Yeah. You don't particularly need to eat them.
True.
But they're there if you need them.
Maybe we should just wait until. Is it already daytime again or is it still night?
No, you scarpered during the daytime and got here once the police had left.
Okay.
So it's starting to get dark.
Maybe try and find another hideout, someplace where people aren't going to go searching for anything.
So something derelict or
Yeah. Hopefully not as cat pissy.
Well, you're the one that's able to walk about in the sunlight. Why don't you find it?
We can both go right now.
well, soon.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah, I said it's getting dark, not that it's dark.
Getting dark. Okay. Yeah, I'll have a look. See.
Okay. They have publicly accessible computers if you don't have one of your own or you've got a problem, so you can go and cruise the internet and see what's around. Let's have a look.
Yeah, maybe see if there's like a closed down hospital or asylum or something.
A place I know quite
Maybe
well.
maybe
is
a
actually
former
derelict.
Blockbusters. I don't know if you'll have that out there. Had that.
So there's an old pub that's currently abandoned, but looks in reasonable repair. Oh, you wanted an asylum, did you? There's a hospital that's abandoned.
Usually a lot of good stuff there, unless it's been gutted out. Yeah, I would try and check that out.
So there's a couple of places. So there's a pub, an old sort of community club. Those two are fairly close to you. The hospital's a bit out of the way.
The hospital also looks really open with lots and lots of windows.
Well, hospitals are warrens. Once you get inside, you could get away from the windows.
True.
Do you want to go and check these places out once it's dark?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll basically record the addresses and
Yeah.
consult Scrat about it whenever he's awake.
Okay. Yeah. So you can tromp around, check these places out. So the community centre / club, it's got like a community room upstairs, or used to. There's a big mural on the outside, depicting a sort of pharaoh and various other sort of African American or Afro British iconography. So that's closed. The windows are boarded up, sort of peeking in through the cracks in the windows and so on. It still looks reasonably intact inside. Yeah, it was a club, so there's a bar, that's all been emptied out. And yeah, because it was a club, they had it blacked out for club nights and music and stuff like that. So it's fairly secure. It's in reasonably good nick.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty central, which is a plus and a minus. There's a pub called the Rising Sun, which looks like it's been closed for a couple of years. It's in a bit of a weird spot. It's right between two big modern office buildings. So during the day there's going to be a lot of people around, but at night it's going to be pretty much nobody around because it's business hours. So that could suit. So the upper level, like with a lot of pubs, looks like it's a flat for the people who would have run the pub. Still carpeting and so on in there, but not a lot else. No power or water on at the moment, obviously. Then you travel out. It's a long walk. Out to the hospital. So it's an old maternity hospital. that's been closed up for quite some time by the look of it. Well, it was a maternity hospital, then it was for geriatric care before it was closed. And there's, peeking in through the windows and so on, it looks like there's still quite a lot of old medical equipment in there. It's all out of date and so on, but there's still quite a lot of stuff in there. Machines that go ping, incubators, old wheelchairs, stuff like that. It's just been kind of left there. But it's so old-fashioned that no one's really broken in to steal any of it. Let me just find a better image of that. Oh, it's actually more central than I thought. It's basically opposite a park, so you've got a big green space next to it, which is quite handy. Isn't the internet wonderful? You can improvise all kinds of stuff. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's not that big, but it's big enough that there's areas in the interior where there's no windows. So yeah, it should suit Scrat quite well.
We'll go for that one then.
Lots of storage rooms and things.
What do you think?
I like the nightclub. It's up to you.
I like it. Yeah, we'll take it.
All right, so you trog on back over to the abandoned club. The back end's got a high sort of chain link fence around it, but it looks like some kids, graffiti artists or something, have already kind of broken in the back and added bits and pieces to the murals and the walls around the place. But you can sort of take part of the metal poling from the fence and use that to pry some of the chipboard away and get inside. It's still pretty clean. It's not a lot of dust. Doesn't stink. The upstairs is more secure and less access to light. Curtains and things have been taken, but there's shutters for the windows that help keep it dark. It's pretty much good enough. There's still some seating in the upstairs, which you can use to sleep on or whatever else you need to do. Old worn leather seats. Yeah, it's pretty good. There's a little kitchen area, though no power, obviously. And there's an attic storage as well, which seems to have a lot of old sort of display stuff, art and photographs, bit of history. Right, I need to take a quick break. So if you guys need to bio break or whatever as well, now's the time. I'm probably going to grab another drink. How much longer are you okay to go on for? I think
about an hour, 20 minutes.
Okay. All right. So short break.
I actually have dinner I'm supposed to have with my mom pretty shortly.
Okay. How soon?
Let me see, because we didn't really have an actual set time.
Okay.
Let's see. It's probably going to be like about an hour.
Okay. So we'll take a short break. I'll run some adverts for people while we're gone, and then I'll probably make this a one-off session. So I'll spring some kind of final consequence upon you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Sounds good.
Be back in a bit, people.
All right.
A problem for every games master has always been coming up with adventure ideas. For years now, Postmortem Studios has been helping out with the 100 Adventure Seeds line. These provide adventure ideas for all genres, and you can get them at RPG Now or lulu.com. At the end of World War II, the Axis and the Allies went to war with A-bombs until nobody was left to fight. In this atomic wasteland, a new breed of rockabilly hero arises. From the gleaming domes of Science City Zero to the sleazy roller derbies of Vegas and the sky fortress of the Fourth Reich, there's a new world for the taking. 45 Psychobilly Retropocalypse, available at lulu.com and RPG Now.
Aren't you a little tired of so-called horror media about shiny, sparkly, angsty, whiny monsters? I know I am, and that's why I created Actual Fucking Monsters, where you will play an actual fucking monster doing horrible and monstrous things and being tracked down and killed for it. Buy now at DriveThruRPG, post-mort.com or lulu.com.
The Atomic Age, with its A-bombs, transistorized radios, jet engines, and a new breed of dangerous supervillain, requires heroes to face the challenge. That's where you come in. The world needs you, Agent. Agent of Swing. "Rrrr," said the grinder, as it chewed its way through Alice, from the crown of her head all the way down to her toes. It ate the lot of her, unfussy, snout to tail, and cleared its plate. It gnashed its way through her dress, her pinafore, her shoes, and her unmentionables. It chewed her hair, devoured her scalp, gobbled up her arms, wolfed down her legs, gorged itself on her torso, noshed on her skin, and gulped her down without so much as a burp to show for it.
Do you like t-shirts?
Yeah, boy!
Do you like games?
Certainly.
Are you perhaps a little bit kinky?
Yes, quite.
Then buy one of our B&D t-shirts at Teespring. Teespring.com/stores/postmortem-studios. You want to be cool, don't you?
Does the word duh mean anything to you?
Sure, you could play one of those hoity-toity horror games where the most horrifying thing that happens is someone wearing a corset who really shouldn't. Or you could grind a zombie's face into a belt sander.
Postmortem Studios sells a wide variety of stock art, well over 500 pieces, many of them by RPG industry veteran Brad McDevitt. These are available for you to use in your personal or professional projects, whether stories or games or anything else. Check us out at rpgnow.com.
In his house in R'lyeh, great Cthulhu lies dreaming, and when he awakens, he shall have the morning wood of aeons. Call of Cthulhu is a deeply pornographic card game. Enjoy your tentacles.
Tal, friend, and welcome to Gore. Savage and beautiful, John Norman's Gorean saga is brought to life in the Tales of Gore role-playing game and its companion world book, World of Gore. Take flight on a tarn, luxuriate in the bathhouses of Ar, pit your steel against the deadly Kuri, best your enemies and place them in your collar. Tales of Gore uses the D6 system, perfect for both new and old players. You can purchase it from Amazon, RPG Now, or lulu.com. Tar Sada Gore. It's been called misogynistic, racist, a hate group, reactionary. It's been blamed for Trump, for keeping women out of games and technology. None of this is true. If you want the real story, then you need to buy Inside Gamergate.
Machinations of the Space Princess is an old-school RPG with a sci-fi setting. The rules are familiar and at once innovative. Opened up so you can play literally any alien species you can envision. Purchase it at RPG Now or lulu.com.
Postmortem Studios, role-playing games, and a lot more to die for. Post-mort.com. Old Fat Punks is part caper, part comedy, part nostalgia, and part commentary. It follows three aging punks as they build themselves up for one big, nihilistic last hurrah. You can buy Old Fat Punks at Amazon, Drive-Thru Fiction, or lulu.com. Follow the links below or search on those sites.
Postmortem Studios is my personal imprint, where I create role-playing games, stories, card games, board games, and more. You can get them at RPG Now, DriveThruRPG, Lulu.com, and some on Amazon. Role-playing games to die for. Pulp Nova is a collection of short stories in the old pulp style but with a modern twist. You should find something here you like, from western to mythos horror to science fiction. You can get Pulp Nova at Drive-Thru Fiction, on Amazon, or in hard copy from Lulu.com. A problem for every games master has always been coming up with adventure ideas. For years now, Postmortem Studios has been helping out with the 100 Adventure Seeds line. These provide adventure ideas for all genres, and you can get them at RPG Now or Lulu.com. At the end of World War II, the Axis and the Allies went to war with A-bombs until nobody was left to fight. In this atomic wasteland, a new breed of rockabilly hero arises. From the gleaming domes of Science City Zero to the sleazy roller derbies of Vegas and the sky fortress of the Fourth Reich, there's a new world for the taking. 45, Psychobilly Retropocalypse, available at Lulu.com and RPG Now. Aren't you a little tired of so-called horror media about shiny, sparkly, angsty, whiny monsters? I know I am, and that's why I created Actual Fucking Monsters, where you will play an actual fucking monster doing horrible and monstrous things and being tracked down and killed for it. Buy now at DriveThruRPG, post-mort.com or Lulu.com.
Sorry about that. Bit longer than I intended to be because my partner was talking my ear off about that latest Kojima game, Death Stranding. Yeah,
Death Stranding.
It has
Reedus.
my interest peaked.
It looks very pretty. I'll say that much about it. Okay. Right. So you'd found your new digs, and you guys were needing to go relatively soon. So what I'm basically going to do is spring the kind of consequence that has been chasing you since the start on you to give us a suitable finale for a one shot. Okay. I'll need my NPCs. Nope, bling, sorry. There they are. Okay, so yeah, you get into your new digs, or are you going to stay in the hotel since you paid for it, and then move to the digs?
I kind of like the off-grid solution.
If we stay in the hotel, we're gonna have to go in the morning, so we're gonna have to like leave immediately at night time.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what we're gonna have to do.
Okay, so go back, return the key, check out, and just let them keep the money.
Yeah.
It gave you a place to, gather your thoughts. Okay.
Use the computer.
Right. So you get to the new place. There's some old curtains and things from the attic space that you can bring down to make something of a bed of it. And bed down. Okay. Can you roll your current satiation to see if it decreases, please?
Let's have a look.
I got a 7. It was right next to a 1.
D12. A 10. So I'm safe.
Yep.
You are he who never hungers.
Yeah, I know. I went straight up from a D10 to a D12 and have stayed there for the entirety of the game.
Okay. Right. So next day rolls around, but yeah, you're both asleep during most of the day. Can you both make perception-y type rolls? So mind, and any appropriate skill, otherwise, or D4. But then step down the die types, so you won't get the free D4.
So, mind D8 plus, for me,
your
is
smell thing.
Smell D4, D8 plus D4.
I'll let you keep the D4 for the smell because it's supernatural. But
Right.
if your mind is D8, drop it to D6, so it'd be D6 plus D4.
Okay.
Or is your mind D10?
Mine's D8.
Okay.
I got a
Mine's
9.
So drop it to D6 and D4.
Hey, wow. I got a 12?
Nice.
What, I couldn't drop down the D4 unless you want me to roll a D2. I happen to have some weird dice here.
No, just whatever you rolled on the D4, take it away from what you rolled, because you won't have that die in that case.
Oh, okay, got you. All right, so 8.
Okay.
9.
Okay. Scrap. You wake up feeling warm, which is nice for a moment until you realise it's not exactly naturally warm, and that you're finding it hard to breathe, and that you can smell smoke. And there is smoke coming up through the floor into the area that you've turned into your sort of sleeping room. Gray hasn't woken up yet. You think it's your sensitive smell that woke you up first.
I'm going to grab him and shake him and say,
Gray, wake up! There's a fire!
Shit! That fucker's back for us.
I'm tired of running from him. Why don't we go and kill him, whoever it is?
Not in here. We'll roast like pigs.
And he'll roast too.
Yeah. I'll pull out my bone talons and have them at the ready.
Ching. Snicked. Okay, the smoke's continuing to build, making it harder and harder to breathe. The heat's building, the paint on the walls is starting to bubble.
We can't stay in here, fine.
Gonna go to the window. It is night, I assume.
Nope.
Fuck.
Damn, that's bad for me.
It's almost night. So you won't be hurt too badly by the sun because it's overcast. But...
So is this a brick building?
Yeah.
Okay.
There are shuttered windows. There's a narrow staircase down to the lower level. And there is a fire escape.
Fire escape.
That's what they'd be expecting. Fine. It's better than going to the outside. Let's jump round the back.
Okay. So you sprint across the room. The sort of lino plastic flooring is starting to bubble, and it's kind of sticking like melted cheese to the bottom of your shoes as you move along. Who's taking the lead out of you two?
I'll take the lead just since I'm less susceptible to the light.
Okay. So yeah, you get to the fire escape, hit the push bar thing, and it opens out onto where the fire escape is. And pretty much immediately there's a loud report and a gun goes off aimed in your direction. So shootiness. Defending against ranged attacks is rolled at -2 to the total. Okay, so roll body plus any kind of defensive, dodgy type skill, like athletics or whatever else. You default to a d4 because everyone can try to get out of the way of things. So
right.
Make the roll.
Is it me or both of us? Or?
Just you.
That's a 4.
Okay. That's not very good at all.
No.
Right. Ouch. 16. You got 4, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you don't have any body armor or abilities or anything, do you?
No, nothing to that nature.
Okay.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
He's at long range for that weapon, though. Okay, take 4 dice levels of damage.
Okay. Let's see. So 12 to 10 to 8 to 6.
You're on 12, so the first one takes you to 10, 8, 6, 4. So you're on D4.
Damn.
Okay, so you come spilling out with the fire exit onto the kind of little platform bit, and there's this loud bang from below, and Scrat, you're not far behind him. So you see this figure down below. It's in a big, long, sort of heavy cloth trench coat, in a sort of off-color military sort of green. His face is covered with a gas mask. The jacket seems really bulky, especially around the chest where it's kind of done up. And he's got a sawn-off shotgun raised up and fired, and there's smoke coming off that now. He seems to have hit Gray full force with the blast and peppered him with buckshot.
Gray, no!
So now we're in combat turns properly. Scrat, you hear someone thundering up the stairs at the other end of the floor, even though the place is on fire, and hear a door smash open and a metallic sound. Shing.
Oh no.
And it's your go, Scrat.
I feel like jumping out the fire escape. Yes, that's what I'll do.
Okay. Right. So, falling. Did I actually bother to come up with rules for falling? I think I did.
My natural instinct was to jump out of the fire escape and try to tackle the guy with the shotgun for some reason.
Yeah.
And I kind of like going with my first instinct.
Okay.
It's very cinematic.
You're only really on the second floor, but they're tall floors, so it's only dropping about 10 feet. It's not too bad. Can you roll your body, please? Just your body.
Do a somersault one. Oh, I rolled a 1. Oh no, it's my first bad roll.
Fortunately, though, you still don't take any damage. So, all right, you leap off the fire escape, plummet down, hit the ground. Oof! Didn't land particularly well, but nothing seems to be broken. You still got 2 actions left.
Charge the guy with the shotgun with my knife and try to drive it into him.
Yeah, die!
Make a stabby type attack roll.
body plus blades, d8 plus d6.
Yeah.
4.
4. Yeah, not good enough.
My luck's running out.
He twists as you go to stab at him. It seems like he kind of knows what he's actually doing, rather than just running on pure instinct. So he twists away from the stab and sort of backs up to give himself a bit more room to use the shotgun. But you still have one action left.
Continue stabbing.
Continue stabbing. Go for it.
12.
12. Okay, that's enough to hit. So 2 using your claws, yeah, or the knife.
Knife.
Same damage bonus either way. So roll a d4.
D4. Let's roll it. It is a 4.
So that takes you to 6 damage, minus his body. Drops it to 3 damage, and minus his armor. This drops it to 1 damage. It's then halved, so that's not enough to actually do anything. Right. You drive your blade into his chest. It pierces the outside of the coat, and then slides and tears a great big hole in it. It struck metal underneath and scored a great big line across it. And where the coat now hangs open, where you've ripped it open, there's an old-fashioned style metal breastplate underneath.
Oh, no. Suddenly my sense of boldness drops. I realise I've made a grave error.
Right, and then it's his go. He takes 1 action to back away from you. So you get an opportunity stab, if you care to make one.
Yeah, go for the neck. Go fighting.
Okay. So
Mind plus blade says 8. D8 plus D6. 9.
9. 9, Kartoffelkopf. Right, so you hit him again by 2. Roll d4 bonus for the knife.
2.
So that's 4. You were trying to aim around the armor, and I'm feeling generous, so I'll let you try and do that. But it still gets to take his body away from it, which is 4, so nothing. All right, so you stab wildly at his neck, but where he's wearing the gas mask and where he's got the high collar on the trench coat, it just sort of gets tangled up in all the rubber and cloth, and then he pulls free of it back. He levels the shotgun at you at point-blank range and fires. Make a defense roll at -2.
Oh dear, how did he do that?
So, body, plus any sort of combat skill that you've got that seems most appropriate.
I've only got claws and teeth and telekinetic.
You've got blades, and you've been fighting with the knife, so you can use that.
6, okay, so it's 8 plus d6. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
9.
Did you take away the 2?
Oh yeah, 7.
Okay, so he just barely hits you. This time it's at point blank range, so it doesn't get reduced. So you take 8 damage. Roll your body and take that away from the 8.
Eight.
Okay.
Oh my god! I'm not kidding. I can take a screenshot and everything.
It's fine. Like I said, on a system. So the shotgun goes off this close. It's pretty deafening. You twist as best you can, and the shot just kind of rips through the front of all the kind of swaddling that's still covering you, and just blows bits of fluff and so on off it, smouldering. So that was one action. No, one action was to back away. Another action was to shoot. He drops the empty shotgun, rips open his coat, and reaches for a sword that's at his side.
Oh no.
Okay, and now it is Gray's go.
All right.
Yeah. You're full of shot and bleeding all over the place.
Yeah, I'm pretty fucked. So let's see.
You can spend satiation to heal.
Yeah, I'll do that for. I'll spend 1 to get up to a D6.
Yeah.
And
So that drops your satiation to D8 or D10.
Let's see. I was at 10,
D8.
so
Yeah.
8. So I'll do that.
So your eyes are showing.
Cool with that at this point.
Run, Gray! I can take him.
You don't have to tell me twice. So I'm gonna at least spend 1 movement, 1 action moving.
Yeah.
Just, trying to go down. And after that, I'm going to leave a.
Do you want to?
Actually, I probably wouldn't have known that there was the noise from inside.
So, do you want to jump down like he did, or do you want to drop the ladder and climb down?
I'll drop the ladder, so I guess that'll probably be
two actions. One to release the ladder and slides down with a loud clang. Then another action to kind of scramble down the ladder, leaving you 1 action when you reach the bottom.
Oh, okay. And then I'll go ahead and spend another satiation to bring out my my reflection.
Yep. Okay, so you kind of stretch and kind of snap in half, and then this second version of you appears right next to you.
So now I'm all 6s.
Yeah, because that's another point of satiation. So yeah, your maximum die type is D6, and your second effect shows up. So what's below the eyes?
Oh shit! No reflection.
Not too much of an issue here, but yeah.
Well, I just thought that meant that my reflection doesn't work anymore.
No, your reflection is fine, but you don't cast a reflection in mirrors or windows.
All right, I'm cool with that.
Okay, next turn.
I can't see how pretty I am.
Another man in a similar sort of get-up, sort of gas mask trench coat, carrying what looks like an old-style cavalry saber, comes smashing out the fire escape onto the landing, sort of quickly takes in the situation, slides down the ladder right behind you, and tries to drive his sword through you. Or is it your mirror double? It's you.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, so roll to defend yourself. Remember your die maximum is D6 at the moment.
Yeah, so that'll be a D6 for the body, and I guess just still a D4 for the skills I don't have, really.
Yeah, you don't have any real combat skills, do you? Oh.
Not really, just my claws, and that's just the power. Let's see, so I got a 6. It's not bad.
6. Yeah, it's not too
bad for me.
Right, so he beats you by 5. Adds the sword bonus, which takes it to 9. Roll your body.
Okay. 3.
It drops to 6. You take 3 levels of damage. So takes you from D6 to D4, D4 to unconscious, unconscious to dead. Okay. Yeah. He drives his sword through your back, breaking your spine and impaling your heart. Sticks his boot in your back, drags the sword out, and then lops your head off with his last action. Yeah. Blood fountains from your neck stump, and you collapse forward, bleeding into the gutter. Your mirror double just kind of shatters into pieces and evaporates into smoke. Right. Scrat.
I'll kill you!
I charge at him.
At the other guy now, yeah?
Yeah, the guy with the sword now.
Okay, yeah. Right. So you close the distance. It's a charging attack. Make your attack roll.
D8 plus D6, and it is a 6.
He easily deflects your blow with the blade, sort of backing away slightly just to keep you at a distance. You've got 2 more attacks if you want, though.
Slash.
Go for it.
8.
And the other roll?
9.
Okay, so yeah, he keeps warding you off, but then he's backed up against the wall, and your last blow hits. So you got 9, he got 5, so you beat by 4. Roll d4 for the blade.
4.
So that's 8 damage. Minus his body. 5 damage. Minus his armor. So that's 3 damage. So that's 1 level gets through.
I drew blood.
You did. Right, so
I've just
health
been
drops
told
from
the mom
D12
is
to D12.
awaiting, so I've got to go.
Okay. All right, take
I'm
it. Well, you're dead
sorry.
anyway. It's all good.
Yeah, I know, but I wanted to watch.
Oh.
I'll catch it later on the recording.
Hope you
Yeah,
had fun.
watch it on the YouTubes.
Yes. Thanks
on
for the
YouTubes.
game. It was awesome.
You're welcome.
Bye bye.
Suitable death.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. So you managed to land a last blow with the dagger, sort of gashing through the coat into his arm underneath, avoiding all this armor plating and so on. It's something. It's not a lot, but it's something. That was all your actions. Right, the guy behind you retrieves the shotgun, reloads it, and attempts to fire both barrels into your back. If he misses, he might hit his mate. So there's that little vain hope to hold out. Right, so that's firearms and his body. Okay, and he only got 6 to hit, so roll your defense.
8.
Right, he misses, which means there's a good chance he hits his friend. Call it
Did so
50-50.
well.
No, he does hit his friend. Okay. Right, that's 6. That's 10 damage. Armor only counts as 1 against ranged attacks, so that's 9 minus his body. Stop rolling wrong. Okay, so he takes 2 more levels of damage. So he's dropped to a d6. Okay, so in your struggle, you're kind of moving around each other. There's this double bang right behind you, pretty much, but it's just at exactly the wrong moment. Smashes into the guy's chest, blows a whole bunch of his coat off, peppers and punches holes through the breastplate. There's blood now seeping out the side. You can't see his expression, but you're sure it's both angry and shocked. Right, the wounded guy tries to stab you. Can you make 3 defense rolls, please?
And that is a... I'm sorry, I keep forgetting.
Yeah, it's body and whatever's most appropriate.
All right.
So combat skill for you is
8.
blades, probably. So 8 and
10.
And
6.
Okay.
No, 10.
10. Make up your mind.
Right.
Right.
The second dice hadn't rolled. I got a 6 and a 4.
Okay. Right. Miss. Hit by 1. Yeah. That's... Okay. Roll your body twice.
7.
Yep.
7.
Okay, he's flailing at you with the sword, but he's rapidly losing strength from the stab wound in his arm and the gunshot to the chest. So while he lands a couple of times, it's not really a solid enough hit to really do much other than bruise you, and you're so pumped full of adrenaline that you barely even notice. And it's your go.
Stab the sword guy in the neck.
Okay, go for it. He's weakening, so he should be more vulnerable. That's a hit by 3. Roll the d4 for the dagger.
2.
So that's 5 total. Minus his armor. Drops it to 4, so he's not going to take any damage from that. So just clangs off the breastplate. Second attack.
5.
Okay. He manages to ward you off that one. You've got one more attack left.
12.
It's a good hit. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Roll d4.
1.
It's a 6 damage. -1 is 5. Minus his reduced body. He takes another level of damage, dropping into d4. Okay, yeah, you're just kind of beating on him with this blade. He's trying to ward you off, but it's exhausting him, and every now and again you get a little stab in, and he's bleeding away and weakening, sort of wheezing through this gas mask as he's brought down to his knees.
I'm frenzied in my bloodlust. I don't even realise there's a guy with a shotgun behind me.
Yeah, he knocks it open, rams in another couple of rounds, locks it up, and fires.
D8.
Hoping that he does better this time. Yeah. Sorry, what did you get?
13.
13. You're a lucky bastard. All the luck Aaron didn't have, I think. You'll get.
I know, I sucked it out of him.
Sorry, what did you get?
13.
Sorry, that was good, but he got 18.
Oh no!
So it beats you by 5, and that's both barrels. And he rolled a 10. So that's 15.
Oh, no.
Roll your body.
5.
Okay, so that drops it to 10. You take 5 levels of damage. You hadn't taken any yet, had you?
So, 1, 2,
D12 to
3,
D10,
4.
D10 to D8, D8 to D6, D6 to D4, D4 to 0. So that's
0.
out, but not dead.
Oh.
So, yeah, you're raising the dagger again for one last stab, and there's another loud boom behind you, flare of pain in your back, and you black out. And
It's not fair.
they drag your body across the street and throw you into the lower floor of the building, which is now well ablaze, and then pull their gas masks off. And the young prentice leads the wounded general away, leaving you to burn.
Whoa. Almost took out the master.
But not the apprentice. Some good lucky hits there. Well, thank you for playing. I hope it was fun, even though you went to your inevitable doom, but then that's kind of the point of the game, really.
Yes. Well done. That was very good. I give you a round of applause.
Thank you. I hope it was entertaining for the people watching as well. Does anyone want to ask me anything about the game or anything before I head off and do something else, which will actually probably be streaming Outer Worlds? So there you go. Same bat time, same bat channel. There's a big delay between speaking and the response, so we'll see. But you had a good time, yeah?
Yeah, Ben says was very entertaining, thanks.
Cool. I'm glad.
I did. I had a great time. It was one of the best games I've played in a while.
Oh, thank you. I'm always the GM. I've been doing it for years. It's the thing I like to do. But for some reason, streaming games makes me really nervous. But this actually felt okay. Felt good.
Oh, streaming games makes me very nervous as well.
Yeah.
At least at the beginning.
Yeah.
The beginning section.
I think I was just hyped to play because I missed my last game session with my regular group, and then I missed this mini convention that we do. So I was like climbing the walls, wanting to game, really. Ben asks, does it cater for the monsters to survive for a long time? It's not typical, but it's possible. There is an experience system. So let me just make sure I'm getting it right. So yeah, you basically each session you gain experience in the form of boosts, and then you spend those boosts to boost your stats or your monster powers or whatever else. And with the companion, there's the opportunity to buy additional masks and additional skills under your masks and build those up. So if you want a more long-term campaign, you can, but that's not how the base game is designed. I mean, the consequences weren't happening quite as rapidly as they probably should have in this session, but I wanted to keep it pure and do it as written. But they were just quite lucky on the rolls. And yeah, I needed to bring the game to an end, which is why I sort of had the generals turn up straight away. They're one of the many hunter groups I came up with. But yeah, you can play a longer game, and it doesn't get too overpowered because there's quite a lot of well, there's not too much randomness. There's enough randomness in the way the system works that someone can get lucky and take you out if you're not really careful. So the power creep isn't too bad.
I'd have to say, one thing that I seem to notice is that without much of a direction of what you were supposed to do, it was a little bit difficult to think of what to drive you, because it's a very reactive game, I found, because it's like, this is like a consequence of reaction. You're supposed to react to the consequence to try and solve it and escape it. So when we weren't having as many consequences, there wasn't as much.
It was hard to drive the game. Yeah, I mean,
so we ended up sort of like hanging out in hideouts for a bit, waiting for stuff to happen.
I mean, you do kind of want that to happen, to have the breathing space occasionally, and the game does run itself to an extent, which is why it was good for a pickup game without a lot of prep. But yeah, I mean, if you want more of a plot or whatever else, you can, and there's more stuff about that in the companion as compared to the main book. But yeah, it does rely on that sort of interplay of action and reaction, and needing to feed is the main driver that creates those reactions. But there's nothing to stop you having more complications, more ideas, some kind of overarching plot. Just I wasn't
not so much as a plot, like what's it called? Like hints or quest markers, whatever they're called.
Yeah,
I
tend to play quite kind of open and improvisational as well. Normally, I don't do a lot of one shots, and when I do, it used to be mostly for conventions where you kind of have to kind of railroad people into it a bit. But yeah, I was underprepared, but it's a fairly good system for that situation. But yeah, I did feel that things were slowing down a bit when there wasn't something kind of immediately pushing you on.
I thought it was really great. Like, there's a few other horror games that I have, and this is what's the word? It's one of the more one of the more creative ones, because you could kind of like think about using your monster powers to try and solve the problems for you, like how I used like telekinesis to pull the knife out of the wall rather than try to grab the knife or something.
Yeah, I tried to encourage creativity. Yeah,
a lot of the other games revolving around monsters, a lot of the actions feel very samey. Because a lot of the skills or stats, or it's basically just rolling the same thing every single time. Whereas in this, you have to mix it up a lot, as you kind of have to think about what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Ben says, I missed the very start with the introductions. What about Aaron's powers again? Seems to be a pickup artist with claws, but otherwise quite weedy. Yeah, he wasn't particularly combat oriented. He had the ability to create a doppelganger of himself. He had claws, and he had indomitable will, which didn't really come up to it very much. But if someone tried to scare him, intimidate him, mind control him, that would have basically given him a bonus to resist that. Right, I think that'll do. I'm going to head off. Thanks for playing, and thanks to Aaron when he watches this later. Available from lulu.com and post-mort.com. You can't get the companion on Drive-Thru RPG. You can get the main book on Drive-Thru because the companion delves into some darker no-no areas that that Drive-Thru aren't particularly happy about. You can't even obliquely mention some things like, say, rape, for example, or paedophilia, but these are meant to be monsters. The thing is, though, I do kind of step around that to an extent. I mean, it's always... I don't believe in these kind of negotiations and consent forms and so on, but I do think groups learn each other's limits.
Yeah, I think we sort of like figured out what we were willing to do with the inappropriate seduction transgression.
Yeah, I mean, and they didn't take a form. We didn't have to do a questionnaire. We just kind of understood where we were at.
Yeah, I saw we were given some pre-gens, and I saw that one of the pre-gens had the transgression inappropriate seduction, and I just said that I'm not sure if I'd be able to roleplay that. So aside from that, I liked the character skills and stuff, but because of that transgression, I was like, I'll play Scrat instead. And I think Aaron, when you wanted to play the character. There were a few things he was like, no, I'm not going to go step over that thing. So yeah, we just kind of like figured it out on ourselves by ourselves.
Yeah, and we haven't played before. I mean, we know each other online and so on, but we haven't role played together. This stuff isn't difficult to negotiate on the fly. So I've got the transgressions, and I have a paragraph in here about hot button issues. And I flag up the things that could be, difficult and problematic, and that you should probably, damn it, I said problematic, but things that you should maybe discuss or figure out. But it's not hard. You don't need these great big formal processes and spoilers and everything. Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to get onto a grumpy whinge because I had a good time. But yeah, I'll be streaming Outer Worlds in a bit for a couple of hours probably. Anyway, thanks again for playing.
Thanks for GMing.
No problem. See you guys. Zang.
See you later.